When the night falls and the winds get loud, and I can't see past the weight of the clouds, I remember who holds every tear. I take a breath and live without fear. Been through trials, fire and pain, but his promise cuts through the rain. I don't need to have all the control. I got peace that anchors my soul. I won't break, I won't run, my battle's already been won. He's my light, always near, that's how I live without fear. I won't fold, I won't hide, he's the strength I keep inside. Storm may come, I persevere, 'cause I live, yeah, I live without fear. People talk, they throw their stones, but grace reminds me I'm not alone. I don't need to prove a thing, I'm walking with the King of Kings. This world shakes and tries to shake me, but I stand firm, faith won't break me. Every shadow's got to disappear. When God is close, I live without fear. I won't break, I won't run, my battle's already been won. He's my light, always near, that's how I live without fear. I won't fold, I won't hide, he's the strength I keep inside. Storm may come, I persevere, 'cause I live, yeah, I live without fear. It's not about being perfect, it's about trusting the one who is. Even in the valley, he's still God. I won't break, I won't run, my battle's already been won. He's my guide, always near, that's why I live without fear. I won't fold, I won't hide, he's the truth I hold inside. Let the world know I'm still here, standing strong, living without fear. Faith over fear, always.
Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Sunday Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and holy cows, have I got so much to share today. Thank you. Thank you sincerely for all of you already stopping in, and especially who have seen what has been happening. I'm going to give kind of an update today. It's been a few days since I did a live stream, and in my path, things have and have not yet changed, but there's been a lot to talk about. And I've been blessed to be united with others like me, veterans against fascism, men and women who give a damn, who are willing to do whatever it takes for this world to know reforms and change. Praise God. Praise God indeed. I'm filled with inspirations again today, man. And yes, I think this broadcast will be juicy. We're going to start out. I mean, hey, let's face the facts, man. Oh, and let's start right there, too. Let's talk about dads. Happy Father's Day to all the dads and all those moms who have to play that tough role for themselves. Life is a crazy journey, man. So today, let's gather together in peace. Let's talk about dads, titles. I'll share some updates, and we'll share some of the lore and some ideas. I got pages of notes, man. I mean, the last time I streamed was a few days ago, and I went to schedule myself for a live stream. Had a page full of inspirations and ideas, and had StreamYard difficulties. So I'm going to go through quite a bit today, but let's let Jack flow for a while. Today, quoting Jack, right? Those who find the truth can stand righteously with freedom. And in the background today, reminder, let our brotherly love continue, and continuing means to grow. Let today nourish our growth in love for one another, because we're in the right place at the right time, here and now, today. Whenever you're hearing this, I'm just reminding you. Those who find the truth can stand righteously with freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from guilt, freedom from shame. Those are the two most important things to avoid, because truly, what is true reveals and determines what is righteous. Not someone's feelings, not someone's ideas, but what is true reveals and determines what is righteous, and what is righteous will stand with what is true. So be true. Be true with love so that you too can be right and be free. Free of guilt, free of shame, free of enemies. Praise God. That's my message each day. Praise God, man. And a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Sincerely. From a dad to another. I made a lot of mistakes along my way. So for those of you with children still, recognize, truly, get clarity in your mind what your heart's responsible for, right? Because it's really easy to lose sight of what's important in this world. And I made a lot of mistakes. Paying for them today. I'm praying to hear from my son, because this is part of God's story, man. And God's story is being told, and you and I are a part of it. You know that history is made every single day? Every single day, history is being made. So, for those who haven't checked it out yet, I encourage you, check out my recent post, right? Let's see if I can make this bigger. Whoa, what did I do? Can I make that? Huh, maybe not. Anyway, check out the post, because this is where I went on Friday night. A group and an organization, wrong way. There's, in the description is websites for some of these organizations, men and women like me. We raised our hand, we took an oath, we made that choice. The greater good is greater than me. Well, when you go back farther in the draft days, not every choice was voluntary there. But anyway, in light of the days in this nation here in America, concerned veterans got together, and we wanted to share our perspectives on the state of the world and the military parade, right? The celebration of the Army 250-year anniversary of the Army, allegedly in line with, I think, Flag Day and Donald Trump's birthday. I could be mistaken, but these are what I've learned. What I do know is that it was a military parade, right? It was a celebration of the military history of America. A lot of people don't see any problems with that. In my youth, I didn't either. I didn't see any problem with the spending and the pollution and the murder that men and women from America participate in every day. But hey, this is the world we live in, and I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. So anyway, the point is, a bunch of us got together. The organization, oh, good grief, Jack. About Face. About Face. It's the newest version of the Vietnam Veterans for Peace, and then the Veterans for Peace. And now there's About Face, and there's many organizations filled with men and women like me. So those who served put on the cover, and they arranged a press meeting in front of the Supreme Court. This was Friday night. So we had some spokespeople there, and wonderful event. Then we went in front of the Capitol building to try and have another photo op. I'm going to see if I can do this. Hopefully this works. There it goes. And not really seeing a reason for barricades, we wanted to have a photo op on the Capitol steps. And so we moved forward. And then the police were there. And they didn't like us walking on public grounds without someone's permission, I guess. I don't know. And it really wasn't blocked off that clearly, you know. So we went forward, but the next thing I knew, I was getting tackled and thrown to the ground by one of the uniformed guys there. And yeah, so I didn't make it to the Capitol steps with my military brothers and sisters there, but God bless them. There's about 60 of them there who got arrested and spent the night in jail. Different varying charges were faced, but you know, the organization, we anticipated some bullying in light of standing up against fascism in America. Veterans Against Fascism. That's why we gathered together. And there was vets and family members and supporters from across the nation. Took time away from their lives, spent money to travel, to put everything together. Felt good to be a part of it. And then on top of that, because I didn't get to the steps, because I didn't go through the arrest process, I ended up on another live stream. Hey, with another media reporter. But I'm bringing someone out, but there's a point I did need to make. I did a disservice to the organizers when I spoke on that Don Lemon show, because there was men and women who were prepared with the organized message, but so there was media relations people there who would have done a better job than me of explaining why the organized effort was there. But in the moment, I kind of got lost sight of that, and I jumped on when they said, "Hey, do you want to talk?" So with that, here, Rose, my friend, you know much of this. Thank you for joining.
Hey, I just got here, so I don't know how much you've shared so far, and do not want to interrupt the story while everyone wants to know everything you have to say. But just so you know, I haven't heard anything you've said. I just got off the phone with my stepdad, who I was saying Happy Father's Day to, and told him all about you, texted him the pictures, texted him the scratch, and he agreed not to text it to anyone else since I own the rights to it, and the 10-minute clip. And he sounded very interested, and I think he's going to actually watch the 10-minute video. And that means a lot, because I don't think he's ever listened to a single episode of Crow 777 Radio. So it would be amazing if he even watched the 10-minute clip. And I want him to, I will wonder what, and I told him, make mom watch it too. And I gave him the whole backstory about how you've already been there for a month, and that everybody thinks you're nuts, and that it's like a Forrest Gumpy kind of situation where you just ended up in front. And so I hope that they come along for the ride, man, because you just need to keep following your intuition every day. But you should backstage me and just finish telling. Did you tell the story yet?
I just shared the photos I posted on my other community post. The photos of me getting thrown down. and the veterans on the steps. And then I was about to talk about the live stream video.
Kick me out backstage and finish that. That's really interesting. Kick me backstage.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Rose. Blessings. Okay, so yes, after getting tackled, this was a photo I didn't post because, well, God bless. There it is, costumed fellow citizens standing over me, trying to act like some sort of damn boss of me after he grabbed me and dragged me to the ground. Oh man, young Jack would have fought something like that, something fierce, but praise God, man. Praise God. God has given me so much faith and trust and confidence and compassion. It's a lesson I've been learning. But since I didn't make it to the Capitol steps with my my brothers and sisters, and I didn't go through the jail process, I was on the viewers and supporters side of the barrier. There was no opposition there besides the law enforcement. They brought a whole bunch of them, man. I tried counting them, but there was too damn many. I gave up. There was so many police there. And Jeeps, I saw the comment, why did you waste the first responders' time? Yeah. Because this was a greater cause than our individual driving without. This is for this purpose, to get some attention. Veterans for Peace, most who know me know I'm aligned with, right? The whole purpose of Veterans for Peace is to educate our community on the toxicity of this war mindset. The war mindset has allowed oppression all throughout our society. So the point is, after not making it to the steps, there was some live field reporting from Don Lemon, who many may know used to be on mainstream news. And so I won't play the whole thing. The link is in the description. I was given an opportunity to share some opinions. Why am I here? And I did share that I introduced myself, and I did share that my hope is to speak with Donald Trump. I learned a lot from the experience. I followed up for those who are willing, if you want to try and support my efforts. I did reach out to follow up with those involved. The goal is to grow. Brothers and sisters, that's my goal. Grow. I want to encourage you, create that goal for yourself. What do you want to grow into? What do you want to become? These things are important to know. Because here, this is the thumbnail I was intending to use when StreamYard wasn't working. Was another Tal quote. Inspiration requires a willing body to enter the world. Are you open or are you closed off from change? See, inspiration brings change, but negative thinking brings denial. You can deny yourself from all sorts of opportunities. You can deny yourself from experience all sorts of inspirations if you allow yourself to focus on excuses. That's the only thing that prevents inspirations from coming through into the world is excuses, imagined excuses. Each of us, we're all our own worst enemy. And in our confusion, we take our problems seriously and we ignore the problems of others. And then we share problems with each other, just like we share opinions. And it's just gossiping hens, and everyone's doing what they've been shown to do because nobody knew any better. I've learned. We all know better. We all know better than to lie. We all know better than to cheat. We all know better than to steal. Those are pretty simple rules to follow for someone who actually gives a shit, right? Real simple rules to follow. And yet, our entire monetary system, it's built upon overcomplication, right? Overcomplication and legalese keeps everything obvious, hidden. It's all trickery and magicry, right? Magicry, I don't think that's a word. Sorcery. I don't know, that's not right either. It's all deception. The entire monetary system is built upon trust. People place their trust in the systems. And then the systems encourage and promote and reward division. It's so simple. If you listen to my words with Don Lemon, I pointed out some of these things that he asked me about voting, and I said, no, I don't have faith in voting. And he asked, why is that? Well, it's kind of simple and obvious. If voting is part of the system, it's the little bit part that they tell us we get to play. Think bigger. Claim your bigger part in the development of history on Earth at this time, especially in your nation, wherever you are. I'm assuming I'm speaking to Americans and Canadians, but no, I'm reaching people around the world already. Praise God. The systems we have today, they are created to protect those in charge of the systems. This is what I've learned for sure. Kind of getting away from the inspiring part. Yeah, open yourself up to the idea of inspiration over excuses. Simple and obvious. 1, inspiration leads to rapid growth. Excuses brings long and slow periods of misery. Man, I experienced both, and I embrace inspiration. Where was I going when I took myself off topic? I meant to pay attention to me. Was it the state of the nation, or was it the inspiring thoughts? The state of the nation. My words on Don Lemon. What I had said to him is, it's simple and obvious. The system is created to protect those in charge of this, in control of the systems. Let's take control of the systems. Us as people. The way the systems become controlled is when people stop controlling people, and we learn how to abide by one another with some respect, some care. My visit to Washington, D.C., man. I was approached by a homeless guy, and he shared some of his story with me. Holy shit, man. People are cruel. This society is cruel. This world is cruel. It feeds off of fear and violence and ignorance. Back to my point. We can take back control of the systems of government and economics, stop allowing politics to divide us, because really that's what politics is. You only need politics left and right if you two can't agree. If people learn from each other, we can grow much easier than fighting for competition and survival and supremacy. These are the things I really do intend and pray to speak to Donald Trump about. And not just Donald Trump, but the entire sitting members of Congress here in Washington, D.C. Because praise God, I've been following faith. Faith has been what's been carrying me and moving me for a long time. We can talk about dads, the roles of dads, the mistakes this dad made. I could share some helpful lessons with that. We can talk about how titles have been used to confuse each other, right? I mean, what's authority? It's a title. It's a position of employment. That son of a bitch didn't have any cause nor right to put his hands upon me. And in his eyes, I had no right to cross that barricade or boundary. Praise God. I mentioned the chain of obedience. I mentioned the chain of obedience. I meant to tag him. I've got the video in the description. I tag all my guests. So when I edit it out, I'll tag Don and Jolly Good Ginger. Jolly Good Ginger was their field guy. I learned from watching him. He was good, man. The way he explained it. And again, I encourage you, check out that link if you haven't heard it. Oh, and here, let me also promote a local legend for us here. Where'd I go with that? Our friend, wait, where'd it go? There it is. Our friend, Talcott Short Clip Collection, I think is the name. Talcott Shorts. He went ahead and caught the perfect clip of the photos I was sharing. What's going on? Whoops, I got to take that out and then put that up. And let's see if this works. Oh, here. I'll share this. This isn't in the... I'll share the link in the description, or maybe if someone will reshare it. But here, let's do this. There's... That's me carrying the banner, okay? So if you can see the banner, that's me.
Oh, no.
There, I got tackled. I just saw this, so I don't know if it comes back up. But...
Well, my name is Greg Stoker. I'm a former U.S. Army Ranger, and
See, that guy ran in front of me. Cop couldn't get him, so he grabbed me. I couldn't control anything, right? And yet I'm walking with faith, walking with good intentions, walking with a purpose and care and love and joy. Hey, and you know what? There was an 82-year-old man. They zip tied his hands, wouldn't let him use his walker. It was just, I don't know what was going on, man. It didn't get out of hand, though, okay? From what I could tell. I haven't yet spoken to the people who went through the process, but I didn't hear anything real bad. It sounds like they were treated with respect somewhat, despite kidnapping innocent people and charging them fines for exercising their freedoms on public grounds. But hey, you know, this is the land we live in. It's literally the land of the insane. Okay? Brothers and sisters, this man who grabbed me and telling me what to do, stranger, he's paid a paycheck. So he's playing a role. And in that role, he has a title. And he takes that title and that role and that position seriously because it's important. It's important that he does what he's told and protects what he's told to protect in the way that he's told to protect. It's all about fear, dude. It's all about conditioning and programming, mind control. It's fucking brilliant, man. It's brilliant. The strategies and the way, you know what? It all comes back to God. God is revealing the story. There's one God, one Father of creation that brings forth the mother of all forms, which is you and me. We are the form of life that is birthing forth the future. Each of us, we live in a world of insanity. We all know fear has been used to separate and divide people. So why do we still stay separated and divided? Why can't we overcome our fears? Because we're separated and divided. See, it's all cause and effect. God is the cause. We affect the outcomes, I think. This is my theory, my newest theory in what God is, because God is that which allows and brings forth, creates and allows, manifests. We are that which is manifested into form. We are the energies and the qualities. We have divine energetic qualities, and then we have corrupted energetic qualities, right? We are the universe in each of us. It's so many ways these ideas can be considered, and I'm trying not to overcomplicate it. What truly is so simple. Breathe and be at peace in the here and now, for in the here and now it is always. Can you be comfortable in the here and now? Then you can be comfortable always. If you just trust, you give yourself permission to trust the right now and trust yourself to make the right choices. Kind of brings us back to the thumbnail of today, the Talcott of today. By becoming righteous, it's simply being honest, right? Those who find the truth, they can stand righteously with freedom, because freedom is truly free to know. I had a conversation with a friend earlier today, talking about, he's been studying the laws, and really everything that each of us needs to know is available to be known, right? This is what I've considered, and I realize it is only through God's grace, God's timing. It is only through God's grace and timing that what is to be will become. So we are the now that is becoming the future. If we obey the ways of the world and we stay divided, allowing politics and religion and economics to be at war with each other, well, we're heading to worse hells than we've ever known. I'm confident in that. For the wealth transfer is continuing. And when I say we, I'm talking about people like me amongst the working class, those who were taught to be honest and forthright and to work hard, right? Those of us who work damn hard for a living. And I had it so easy. Praise God, man. God has been so good to me. And I didn't recognize the patterns of what was happening in my life. It took me a long time. But this is the lesson I learned. The first lesson is it's up to you. It's up to you. When are you going to give yourself permission to pause, to be still with the here and the now, so that you can gain that different perspective of where you are and where you've been, so that you can allow yourself to breathe in the present moment, right? Realizing that the choices you make here and now in the today, the choices you make today are the ones that are important, not the choices of the past, not the regret, not the guilt, not the shame. Let's bring me into another note. Dang it. So many days of notes. Guilt and shame. People hide their guilt and shame through resentment. People hide their guilt and shame through resentment. I'm speaking from experience. My guilt, shame, and resentment, that's what drove me nuts. That's what caused me to choose drinking myself numb night after night instead of being a good father, spending time loving with my son. I'm paying the price today, man. You know what? I may share it later after I open the panel up. I'll see what happens and where it goes. Hey, and yes, Talcott Shorts collection. Would you please share your link? Okay, because you've got some great stuff and you've been supporting. And I tell you what, thank you. You caught where I got taken down. That's amazing. I was hoping there was some sort of footage, and I haven't looked for much. So thank you for catching that. If you share your link, I encourage others to give him some support and a subscribe. And I want to invite you too, whoever's behind Talcott Shorts collection. You want to spend some time editing some of this stuff down for me and give me a call if you're willing, and if you are willing and interested, reach out to me. Let's talk. You know what? That clip is far greater than just this character, though. Okay? That clip is far greater than just one man. It's about the state of affairs in the world today. Veterans against fascism. Stop the military spending. Stop the deployment of troops onto U.S. soils, right? This is why we're out there. We've got a world that's absolutely insane. Donald Trump is clear evidence of the state of society today. And the state of the society today here in America, it's evidence of a lot of things. A lot of things good, a lot of things bad. Hey, I've been catching many comments, and thank you sincerely. I haven't been acknowledging them, but I'm catching and paying attention to a lot of encouragement. I think a lot of people resonate. A lot of people are seeing what I'm meaning, that, you know, I'm all in. I am truly all in. Peace is the way. Peace is my purpose for being. Peace on earth. There's nothing I want more. And I think it's happening, guys. I think it's happening through us, with us. We are at the right place at the right time. Everything is coming together. So brothers and sisters, let me bring it back to the creator, the live streamer. There's something amazing. So if you've been here for a while, thank you, right? Let's continue to share and invite others and to continue to grow. And if you're new here, or if you're newer here, welcome. You're at the right place at the right time. Don't miss out by inviting others and telling others about this. The purpose of this is to grow in reach and influence, not so much of Jack Talcott, but of these messages, the message of live without fear, faith over fear. Enough of this nonsense. Stop allowing our excuses to get in the way. There is nothing preventing us from creating heaven on earth. It's available when you align with God. And I believe God's will for you is much like I believe God's will is for me. I believe God's will is for us to explore life, discover and create as many opportunities as you can to grow, to live, to love, to create memories that you will treasure forever. Those are the gifts in heaven, right? The Akashic record. Every thought we think, every energy we focus on, that becomes a part of the greater tapestry of what's known in the universe as mankind. This is my theory, at least. And it's not just in the universe, but it's history here on earth. Let's just bring it in to what it is. It's all history here on earth. being perceived, interpreted, remembered, and experienced through you and me. Praise God indeed. Can you feel good about being who you are and where you are today? Can you breathe in the idea of freedom? Can you allow the idea of freedom to be felt and sensed and kind of maybe even tingle through your body? Because your body is free and your body is energy. And that's who you really are. You're actually no thing but what you believe. So believe you are with everything. Align yourself with the truth. Be honest. Gently honest, compassionately honest for yourself, for others. Amen. Breathe in the freedom. Breathe out the slavery of guilt and resentment and blame. Resentment hides guilt and shame. Stop blaming. Accept that you participate in every experience you judge, and understand what you need so that you can move on, move forward. Stop resenting, stop blaming, stop judging, start living like you love the life you've been given, because you can. You can love the life you've been given when you commit yourself to being grateful. I don't think everyone, if you're willing to learn from the lessons of another, I think this is what my role is. I think God has allowed me to learn a lot of life lessons in pretty mild, pretty painless ways. And the idea is, if I can communicate some of these life lessons, maybe you don't have to go through what I did. Maybe you can avoid some of the downfalls I made. Maybe you can make the choice to change sooner than I did. I just want you and everyone else in this world to feel better. Amen. I got to pay some more attention to you guys in the chat. You guys are sharing some great stuff too. You don't fight fascism because you're going to win. You fight fascism because it is fascism. And there's so many ways to describe fascism. The one I've come to terms with is simple and the obvious. Fascism is tyranny. Tyranny aligns corporate and the state together as an engine against the freedom of the people. And then with fascism, typically they glorify, there's an association between the nation and the leader. And then the leader becomes more important than the nation. So in other words, they worship and glorify the leader, and then fascists rise and they're given power. And we have all the signs we need to see here in America, brothers and sisters, whether Donald Trump is doing it intentionally or not. I'm actually of the good faith that he's not intentionally doing what he's doing, the destruction and the damage that he's causing. I trust he's just following along from the advice of like the Heritage Foundation and the other, the billionaire class that he's been bringing in to advise him. They're telling him what to do. If you can have faith today, brothers and sisters, help me help you. Help me out. Think creatively. Imagine creative ideas for yourself, right? I'm all in on the cause, and I'm not alone. I'm going to extend an invitation for some serious conversations, especially with some of the veterans who were, especially some of the veterans who are a part of this group, right? The ones who were taken to jail and spent the night and put through the ringer just for doing what they did. I'm going to reach out to some fellow brothers and sisters. I'm reaching out to some fellow brothers and sisters. I'm going to invite them to join and perhaps share their story if they're willing. I'm not going to put, if and when this happens, I'm not going to put up with any nonsense from the chat or elsewhere. depending on who it is, maybe I'll just do a private conversation and premiere it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But the other next moves. I encourage you, for those who are interested and willing, the link to this Don Lemon appearance where I was featured on, and again, I mean no disrespect to the About Face organization or the other people that they prepared for that. I intended no disrespect for my cooperation with that. But for those who are willing to move with what happened, please support my efforts. I found emails for both Don Lemon and the field reporter, Jolly Good Ginger. I'm now subscribed to both of them. I wasn't before. And I've heard many people know of both of them. I'm following up because I think given the opportunity for calm conversations, they could understand. They could get on board with some support, with more support for a guy like me. And I bet Don Lemon, through his life experience, he's got connections, right? He's got connections to other people and other platforms. And life is all about connections. This is something I've learned. My connections in the world were dissolved. They disappeared. And so this is my journey. God allowed me a life different than yours. Okay? That's all it is. I was given a life different than yours, just as Jesus was given a life different than ours. Okay? Just as everyone other human being in the past record was given a life different than ours. And yet, all life is a reflection of everything else around it. It's so glorious and so perfect. The only thing you have to fear is guilt and shame. You avoid your own judgment of guilt and shame. You stop doing the things that you know are wrong, and then you avoid guilt and shame. And then you got a clear mind. And with a clear mind, you can allow your imagination to run into the most amazing things. And when you allow your mind to imagine and envision and really get into that experience, you can spend time feeling good. And for those who have heard from Bruce Lipton or Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard, or many, many other teachers of mind and heart, you've heard these things. I've spent time and energy feeling the conversation and the successful conversation with Donald Trump, where God allows us and me and him an introduction together. That's where we start. And then he invites me to join him, right? So he can learn more about what I've been saying and learning, because I'm sure he'll be interested once he understands what I've got to share. Peace on earth is in his hands. He's allowed U.S. diplomats to veto peace. What's the term? Resolutions, ceasefire resolutions, peace resolutions. The United States has allowed our representatives to veto actions, according to the news I've heard on the public airs. I think that's unacceptable. And I'd really like to help Donald Trump know better. But sometimes my ideas of my personal goals, it causes confusion. So please don't allow yourself to be confused. Don't allow yourself to write me off because you don't agree with the directions I'm going for my own personal life. Your own willingness, that is what reveals your freedom. You, just like me, just like every other person, we get to choose which idea is good for me, which idea is not good for me, which idea is good for others, which idea is not. We each get to choose. And what I was thinking about, back to something I said earlier, about We've got the one source of creation, the intelligent mind behind the patterns of energy and form that bring form into being from nothing, right? Energies create everything. It's just unbelievable. Where was I going with this? Doggone it. Talking about the all-knowing, the one source from which we all are. Each of us, right? So the creative force and the source that allows life each day and moves everything, whether it's aware of it or not, right? And we are that which is moved, whether we use our awareness as we move, right? If we pay attention or not is up to each of us. Kind of not. Consciousness is a big mystery. Mankind's been philosophizing about it, trying to describe it for a long time. Harpole, God bless you, my friend. Sincerely, man. Your support is the monetary, man, is not. God bless you. And thank you. Keep this momentum going and truly live without fear. It is the way we want to be. And thank you, Edward Cam. When I surround myself with like-minded individuals, right? This is what I've been looking for, is to find my community again. And it was temporary. I mean, I made a couple of connections, but not what I'd actually hoped. But I've been learning to trust and to have faith that God's love is most important to me. That's all I want to focus on. God's love. Such a mystery. There's where I'm going. The past of our world today, including your own, allow it to be what it is. It's a mystery. Okay, the past is a mystery. If you go big enough or far enough, we don't know what we don't know. Okay, the future, let's just point out the obvious. The future is a mystery too. We can consider and predict probabilities. That's it. We can guess, we can imagine, but we don't know. So the future is a mystery. So what is now? Is now a mystery to you? Or are you present and aligned with all that is now? You can be. You can become present and aligned with all that is now whenever you want by the grace of God. So seek to know the grace of God for yourself, please. I encourage you. If you haven't yet, of course. Now, if you're already aligned with it and you feel pretty solid and good in your heart, you got a peace-filled mind, no enemies whatsoever, you already know what I'm talking about. But for the others, man, for the others who are carrying bitterness and resentment, a little bit of fears and insecurity, you got a lot of people to blame. You got a lot of reasons to be angry. If that's you, let's breathe in deeply. Let's become present. And let's grow up. There's nobody to blame. There's everything to become grateful for. Why? Gratitude feels good. Do you want to feel the misery of blame? You want to be weighed down by the past and fighting to be right and righteous only in your mind? Or do you want to be true? Because if you can be honest, if you can be present and grounded and kind of stoic with who you are, paying attention, right? That's how you accomplish those things, is you pay attention. And you realize what is going on, what's really happening, and you don't overthink things. You just allow things to be that which they are, because there's no point in fighting reality. And the reality is suffering, right? Carrying unresolved, unhealed trauma. It's due to a number of things, right? God's grace has not yet been set upon those who continue to suffer. And that's why I encourage, if you are suffering, seek to know God's grace. Trust that God's grace is to be known for you. Now, what grace is taking the undeserving and giving, right? Being generous is showing grace to another. That's what grace is all about. And that's what Jesus was teaching. He walked with truth and grace. The image of Jesus in the Bible, the book that many people worship, condemn others for not obeying their interpretations of a book. Praise God. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to mock. Not right now. God, I love this life. Life can be so much fun if you stop taking irrelevant things seriously. If you allow yourself to be wrong, you can have more fun. It's really that simple. That's God's game of life. Those who are not honest will be punished. You'll destroy yourself. You'll destroy your own character. If you can't align yourself with the truth, you want to stay in denial, supporting selfish liars. That's what America has become, brothers and sisters. Donald Trump is a sign of the times. And praise God, the sign of the times show that the signs and symptoms of fascism and tyranny, they are no longer deniable. There's no one to blame but you if you don't know the corruption and the problems in this world. Now, the next step, though, is if you know of problems, it's really easy to get upset. It's really easy to get angry. It's really easy to find blame and excuses. And guess what blame and excuses accomplish? Have you ever thought of that? Listen to yourself. If you don't listen to yourself, why should anyone else? And I think that's what's happening. There's so much distrust because fear has been conditioned, right? The religion fear of hell, the religious fear of persecution. Oh no, if I be good, I might get murdered. The good people are murdered. But we're all sinful, so we'll just stay sinful together. No point in trying to get better. Oh yeah, I need a puppet, huh? I need a puppet. Holy cows. We'll figure it out. Jack's going to continue improving, brothers and sisters, but I say what I say what I'm going to do. I say what I do, and I do what I say. I represent who and what I am, and I am a U.S. military veteran, 2 voluntary enlistments in the active duty Army, and I stand against fascism. I see all the signs and symptoms rising. Patterns of history are repeating regarding the rise of fascism with Mussolini, with the Hitler guy, with even Xi Jinping, man. We got America competing against the oppressive leadership of China. They're playing these egoic mind games. It's the devilish. Praise God. God's game is becoming revealed. There are many like me. You're not alone. Okay? Those were thoughts I was thinking about sharing earlier. That reminder for you. This weekend and the past few days was amazing for my heart to remind me I am not alone. And through some personal encouragement and connection, I know that I am not alone. And even without others with me, I know that I'm never alone. Now that I have found my relationship with God, I want to encourage you to claim your own. You want it. You want a healthy relationship with that which reveals the truth. And that which reveals the truth is a mystery. It's not you. Not if you're dishonest. And I really think that the laws of the universe are created to support that which is good. Because there's a continuing, in the greater picture, there is a continuing development and growth towards goodness. Greater goodness is that which comes forth. Now, for greater to emerge, that means old must die away. So that's why that's process of creation, recreation. That's the game that God's allowing you and I, Donald Trump, Netanyahu, Putin, all these other people. God's allowing us to play this game of life today, together and yet apart. It's such a glorious creation that God has created. It overwhelms the mind. The mind has trouble. A limited mind will be challenged by greater ideas. And my mind has been blown, guys. I know that anything is possible. Anything is possible. I don't deny this possibility. Is the Vatican behind the state scam? Is it the Vatican? Is it the Jews, right? The censorship. I don't know what the rules are. Probably breaking some, but whatever. What happened to the clip? I don't know if I'm going to play it or not. Maybe I should. I don't care if people check in here or there. The message is there's men and women who served. We were a part of the military industrial complex. It is what it is. I'll offer no shame, but I know a lot of heroes. I know a lot of, matter of fact, holy cows, that's something else I wanted to promote. One of the dudes I met, this guy's a fucking hero to me. He went to jail because he was in the Vietnam War. He and another dude, they mutinied an ammunitions boat in the Vietnam War in a manner and purpose for civil disobedience, trying to save some other lives. You know, if there's not weapons being transported, then how are the guns going to fire, and how are lives going to be lost? So I have met so many damn heroes in this lifetime. Maybe that's why in comparison I felt such shame in the past. Today I stand upon the shoulders of those giants who came before me. Dr. Martin Luther King was a big part of my story. And Rose mentioned earlier the comparison of me and Forrest Gump. For those who know the movie of Forrest Gump, he's a simple man, right? Does simple things, but just lives an extraordinary life, and things just keep happening with him. And that's kind of me, dude. There is a timeline and a development. There's a connection between me and the radical organizer and leader who's loved and disliked, Martin Luther King Jr. There's connections between me and him, and through his connection to Jesus, that's where I turned that way. More focused is when I started aligning with Martin Luther King Jr. So, and I was so there's synchronicities between me and him. My development and progress as a speaker and as a man. Then there's also connections with me and the Ryson mailings, and there's connections with me and the Vegas shootings, and there's connections with me with all sorts of crazy crap, man. So, brothers and sisters, history is happening all around us. What part of history are you playing? What role have you chosen for yourself? What ideas are you willing to allow yourself to entertain? If you only allow yourself to entertain the ideas of others or ideas of the media or things from the past, if you're not imagining and directing your intentions towards something greater, you might be missing out. Brothers and sisters, these are the things I have found. Life is a true adventure. You know what? Here, I'm gonna have some fun today. Today is Sunday. I've got pages of notes. I'd welcome folks who want to talk about the topics, right? Dads, titles, any questions from me about updates of things that have transpired, and ideas. I still got a bunch of pages of ideas to share. But today I'm actually mentally, physically, spiritually, I think I prepared myself for possibly a longer stream. Okay, so for those who tuning in, I'm feeling like fellowship. That's kind of my hope. Oh, praise God, man. Praise God. Today is for fellowship, but with the forewarning that after today, Monday, right? Starting tomorrow, focused primarily on goodness. So as long as we have good behavior and good discussions, I welcome back our friend.
Hi,
Noel.
Jack. Can I tell you about my weekend? It was a very fun weekend. I had a track meet. It's a 3-day.
A
really fun.
3-day meet? How'd you do? How was it?
Can I tell you how did I do? Jack, for the girls relay, we got first. The girls relay we got first, and then in my mini javelin I got first place, and into the 100 dash I got third place, Jack.
Nice.
It was really fun, and I met some new people there. It was so much fun.
You know what, Noel? That's amazing. I'm excited. I've never thrown a javelin, so
those are really easy to throw, and I throw really kind of so far.
You got first, you said, so yeah. You're rocking it. You're trying.
Those girls at the 100 was really fast. I was like, it was really so. It was really a close race by that girl. I almost came in it's a fourth place. It was, yeah.
Close, huh?
Yeah, everybody go check my video on YouTube. It was so close. I was like, wow.
Hey, great job, my friend.
Thank you.
And you know what? From a bigger picture,
yes.
Something else I want to remind you of. Good job. Getting away from the online, getting outside, exercising your body, making connections. That's what life is about.
Jack, I came home today at around 2.
Welcome back home.
Thanks.
Good for you.
And then, Jack, can I tell you about my day program? Is that for another day?
That's right. No,
Yes.
thank you. You mentioned you were starting a new path. Please share an update with us, please.
Can I, or are you busy doing something?
You know, Noel, today I'm feeling pretty patient.
Yes.
So if you'd like to update us, I'd love to hear how things are going for you.
My day program. This I really enjoy it, and we do a lots of papers work, so pulling them out with the staplers out, and just putting the staplers into like a bin, and then puts the papers into another bin, and then to walk over, and the boys can shred that. And it is like every new thing I can learn every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays, and then the van gets me around 8 a.m. and around 9 o'clock, it's 9:30, it starts, Jack.
Mhm.
And we end at 2. We
Okay.
do different things. Yeah, and into the afternoon, we learn about these skills, things, these problems, how to solve them, and learn on the afternoon time. Yes, the work is really interesting. I do like it.
Yes, I'm glad for you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
So enjoy it and absorb as much as you can, because this
Yes.
learning new things, it adds new dimensions to your life and new experiences, new connections. They bring us new ideas.
Jack, can you look for my YouTube video and play it on here? Can you do that? It's on my videos. Can you, Jack, or no? I want everybody could see it on. Sorry.
How about we drop your link?
Drop my link. Okay,
Or,
where?
or actually, can you share it? Can you share it in the back, or
Can I share? How can I share it here? Do I have a screen to share?
well, actually, yeah, you could do
How?
that.
How?
If you're
How?
able. Do you know how to present a screen
No.
in StreamYard? All right. Do you know can you copy the link and share it in the private
Copy
chat?
the link and then show it to you. Yes.
Share it in the private chat, and I'll see if I can pull it up quick. Okay. We'll see what you're talking about, at least. I'd appreciate that.
Yes, welcome. And then how can I share? Can I click copy the link
Mm-hmm.
and then paste, and then there? There you go. Can you? So, Jack, it was so much fun. It's in the comments.
I see that, but
How can I do it?
I don't see you in the YouTube comments. Do I have you blocked? I might have you blocked.
Why?
I don't
Here's
know.
in the backstage.
What's that?
Into the private chat.
Oh, your 100 race. I got 3rd place in state.
Yes, that. Can you play it on the screen, please?
Yes, ma'am. And I am also going to share this for those.
It was super close at the end. I thought I got fourth, but it was a competition. That was a big competition. Look. Into the blue shirts. Look at the ends. Into the blues. Can you make it bigger? Into the blue shirts, guys, is me.
All right. Let's see where you're at.
In the that's me into the blue shirts running. Can you see me? Wait. That's not me. Do you see me right there? Right there running? It was super close. It was really close. Look.
Oh
Close.
man, it was
Close. Close.
So it looked like you were in
that? Third place. I got third place. I thought I got fourth because of that. So what can you tell by that? The ending part. Do you see?
It was close. You were a champ.
Yes.
It looked like you were in lane 2.
Lane 2, yes.
Do we want to watch it again? Here,
yes,
let's watch it again.
Slow motion. Let's watch it again. Let's watch it slow motion.
That's a great idea.
Yes, because I want to see
I'm gonna mute
footage.
it. And
Jack,
we'll watch this again.
Watch slow motion. How can you slow it down?
Oops.
Oops. Slow motion. Slow motion. Who is it? Let me see. That's me. Those are those people. That girl was my friend after the end of the day, which
Two. Oops.
How?
That was close.
Well, it was close. I got third. Wait.
All right. Let's see.
Let me see who's the footage. Guys.
And it looks like
this
is the finish line, right?
Yes, that's
okay. That's the finish line. Yes. You're in lane 2.
2, yeah.
Next step.
Who got it?
I don't know, man. She might have put her foot down before you.
It was third. I got third. They said I got third.
Hey, congratulations to you, my friend.
Thank you.
The most important thing is you're having fun. You're healthy and
Jack. That is every year we go out. It's not like every time, every year. It's next year. Jack, can you please tell me about how is that protest? I don't get it. Yes. Let's talk about you now.
Which part of the protest?
So you got tackled. Why would you got tackled? That's
because we crossed a what are those called? They're bike racks.
The barricades.
Well, they're bike racks is what they are, but they put a bunch of bike racks up to I don't know, I guess make a barricade. But it wasn't all blocked off. I found an opening just right there.
And then, so Jack, why did everybody ran into? That's how was.
Well, we were. I think if I'm guessing, I think most people they were excited for the photo op, right? We wanted to get together and get some good pictures on the Capitol.
Donald Trump was there. Wait, what was that? Okay.
No, just a whole bunch of policemen and
why is the cops throw you out? Did the cop throw you out? Did that one throw you out? Like he just put his hands on you?
Well, no, yeah, he threw me to the ground and then
what did you say? What did you say to him?
What do you mean?
You didn't talk to him? You didn't say why? Why?
Well, yeah, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, he was yelling at me and whatever. It was a lot of chaos.
Um,
Um,
so how is that? Like you never actually been just do? How you never actually not doing that before? The cop throwing. I'm confused. Why did I want to see it? That
that's
little boy, see, that little boy didn't get tackled, only you.
yeah. Here, someone actually I mentioned earlier, one of our friends clipped. What did I do with that?
Why is that little boy didn't get tackled? How is, wow, those people.
One of our friends had clipped.
And what, and Jack, what is that? That's the can. That can. That can, in front of that flag, Jack.
Yeah, I was carrying the flag.
Who's recording?
I don't know. See, and there they took me down.
Why? Why did they do that, Jack? And not those rest of those people?
I don't know that stuff like that. That's for God to know.
That's
I don't know why. I mean, I saw it. It makes sense. The cop was chasing someone else. That guy ran in front of me. The cop saw a slower target.
You
You know
didn't know what you didn't know it was coming, Jack. You
why?
didn't.
What are you trying to understand, my
I'm
friend?
trying to understand. You didn't know it was coming. The cop. Did you know he was coming to get and tackle you?
That particular cop, no.
Oh,
I
you were
couldn't.
shocked. You were shocked.
He came out of my blind spot. I didn't even see him.
So what did he do to you? Did he put you on the ground? Like,
Yeah, he put me down, and then I started getting up. He said, "Get down," and then I'm down, and I'm not up, and I'm not down, and then he says, "Get out of here. Get behind the barrier." And I said, "Why? What's your deal, man?" And then I got up, and he's wanting to push me. He threatened me with resisting arrest because I wasn't walking fast enough for him.
what?
And I was going slowly against his pushing me. And so I can't say that I was with my brothers and sisters there till the end, but
So you make it out of that place really quickly. You're like, yeah. Did you listen to the cop?
oh, here, hold on.
Hold on, I want to.
Here, we've got another guest.
Okay, sorry.
Now,
You.
something with this, though, Stephen and others, please recognize my kindness and share some respect with me because it's been a long time of people.
Hi, Steven.
People
Hello,
not,
Noel. Hello.
How are you? Good.
Oh, I'm fantastic. Hello, Jack Talcott. How are you, brother?
greetings. I'm feeling blessed. How are you
Brother
today?
Jack. I'm doing fantastic. I couldn't believe the footage that I saw, like the interview with you with Don Lemon. That was almost incredible.
Thank you. I felt the reporting of the Jolly Good Ginger. I felt he did probably a better job of explaining than I did. And he wasn't even at the planning stuff. He just, I guess, came along, or maybe someone involved gave him a heads up of where we were at and what was going, but he didn't seem to know a lot. I'm sure grateful he was there.
Praise God. You know, I grew up in a family of gingers, but they were redder than that guy. The gingers I grew up with were like Raggedy Ann doll, really red, like redder than your curtains behind you, redheads. So I know about gingers, but I never heard of that guy. What is it? Jolly Red Ginger? What was it? Or
Jolly
what was it?
Jolly Good Ginger.
Jolly Good Ginger. Okay.
Yeah, and he is a pretty cool guy. I'll tag him later. And Don Lemon, I'll tag him too, I'm hoping to have more conversations with the two. Because I learned a lot. I made some mistakes in my what I said. But I know if given like an opportunity for a true conversation, someone like those guys, right? Don Lemon has connection to media, maybe he's not currently employed, but he still knows people. And connections are how deals get done, man. So I'm all about connecting to people who want to help me do what has never been done.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know that Don Lemon no longer works for CNN. I haven't watched TV in years, so I had no idea when I saw that. I didn't know he had a show. I clicked on the link in the description and I watched it, and I was like, "Wow, this Don Lemon's got his own show now." I remember him on CNN, and I guess he would still have media connections to probably a whole bunch of people. I'm sure.
Sure.
Stayed in touch.
Probably even some connections in Congress, in politics. And the goal is, I was able to say it on his video. And here, I'm going to pull this up just so people know what we're talking about. It was I gotta stop some of these tabs, man. Got too much going on. Sorry.
It's okay. I was laughing at what Daisy said in the chat room. I can't believe she's talking about Don's butthole. I mean, come on, Daisy. What are you talking about?
Well, let's see. 338,000 views so far.
Oh, wow. I left a comment there mentioning Jack Talcott. I said, Jack Talcott is a live stream. Join his channel.
I appreciate that.
On that video. So
I appreciate that.
Jack, who is these people? Who is those Dom and that other person?
So, as I understand, Don Lemon used to be on one of the mainstream news media. He was a professional news anchor, and whatever happened, he got fired or whatever. And now he's doing something similar to what he used to do, but doing it in a different way. He's on YouTube. He's living a life similar to me, but different than me. We're both on YouTube. And the other guy, Jolly Good Ginger, he's somehow connected, and he does field reporting for Don Lemon. I don't know if he does it for himself and others too, but
okay, he's connected with Don Lemon then. Okay,
yeah, he was the
I
field.
skipped forward to the part where you.
So Jack.
Yeah.
Into my track thing, I met a YouTuber that oh, what? You can't hear me?
No, sorry. Go ahead, Noah.
And so at the track meet, those 2 days, I met a YouTuber that lives close to there, and so I met him on one of these panels, and he was very friendly, really nice.
Glad to hear, my friend.
Oh, good, but don't cheat on your boyfriend.
No, it was a friend.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. That's great. You thought I was interrupting you, I was trying to answer this question. I think I heard Jolly Ginger say he was Army, like me, because he followed up the next day to report on the Army celebration. He was one of the field reporters with Don Lemon and others, and I'm pretty sure he mentioned he was Army.
Who's that just for the laughs guy? He said earlier, he said he was laughing at Jack's gait as you were running or whatever. That's when I tuned in. I read that comment. I was like, who's that guy that's making fun of Jack, saying he's slow and he's making fun of your gait? Said you have a funny gait or something. Is that the Chuckles guy, or who is that?
Yeah, that's the voice behind Snafu's Jack Tales series.
That's
the insider dropping the real scoop on Jack Talcott.
That's that guy. Oh man, he looks a bit fatter than I pictured. I didn't think he'd look like that, but he's out of shape. Well, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be gentle, but I don't want to be too insulting. But he's kind of a clown. But
here's something you may not realize.
Okay.
When we crossed the barricade, the banner that I was trying to get to the steps, it got hung up on others, and then other people attached to the banner. We ended up catching on other people. So part of the reason I wasn't running real well was other circumstances other than just my age and health. So I assure you, you can laugh. I can laugh. I mean, hell, I got thrown to the ground by some fucking costumed character. So
I was going to say, Jack, there's probably a lot of people on YouTube that have wanted to throw you to the ground over the years when they get angry on your show.
Not me, Jack. Not me, Jack.
Oh,
no.
Not you?
No.
Well, happy Father's Day to Jack. I forgot to say that.
Happy Father's Day, Jack.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, and you too, King Stephen.
Well, I have babies out there that don't know me, maybe, but
King
I don't
Stephen,
have any.
Is that you right there in your dragon shirt? I really like it. Your dragon shirt.
Thank you.
Welcome.
That's my painting. That's my painting.
That's really interesting.
I make and sell artwork.
Wow.
Thank you, Noel.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. But you know, Jack, you said at the beginning of gratitude of this show today and living in gratitude. And I am grateful. The more that I come here to your show, the more that I'm realizing, no, I think about it even after the shows are over. I am feeling more grateful lately. And I lost a bunch of money recently. I lost a whole bunch of money on an investment. And I just said, it doesn't matter. It's still God's plan. I'm not going to be focused on this money. You know, I'm going to think bigger than just, I lost some money. So what?
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Life is bigger than that. Life's bigger than that. God's bigger than that.
It absolutely is. Hey, this topic of Father's Day, this has been in my head quite a bit today. I don't know when my son's going to gift me with the sound of his voice again. But, you know, the holidays, who was talking about that? We were talking about that earlier. How holidays can remind us of things that are absent. You know, we'll place a significance on a date or whatever, and an association with the absence. But I do know there's intelligence behind the life we are living, and it's far greater than yours or mine alone. Even combined, we don't match the intelligence of the true spirit that's within throughout nature. So the key is to be at peace with that which is natural. And the only moment we live is in this breath. This breath is a sign of our life, and our life is a sign of progress, not completion, right? And the mystery of the beginning and the end if you allow the past to be a mystery, but you're grateful for everything you've learned, good and bad, then you can be present. And if you can be present and aligned with the gift of life that God has given you again today, then you can start wondering about the mystery of the future. What might happen if? What if I do this? What could I accomplish? Not what might happen if, excuses and fear, drama. We're here.
Yeah.
One last point, Stephen. I'm sorry. I'll get back down.
No problem. No problem, Jack.
It's this idea I was considering regarding God the Father, right? Today's Father's Day. Jack Talcott came from Spokane, where the tradition of Father's Day was identified and created in America, at least as I understand the story, right? So there's another connection between me and something. And I'm always looking for what's the story with this? Well, what if the goal of the return of Christ is to reintroduce the world to our Father so that once and for all there will be no more disputes, no more wars. We will stop playing the bankers' games of genocide and oppression, manipulation, and court systems and legal systems and poverty systems, and we'll stop relying on these systems and we'll unite together with the truth. Because when we align with the truth, we claim our freedom from the lies. Lies and secrets have created the world we have. Many know of, right, the creature from Jekyll Island and the story of that. The creation of the Federal Reserve conspired. It's not a lie, it's not a secret, but there was a conspiracy in bringing forth the Federal Reserve after manipulation of the banking systems and the stock markets. It's the same patterns that people have been, same patterns and same games that have been played throughout time, but most people were like me. We weren't properly educated on what was really happening in the American past. The nation is built on lies, and lies are ready to crumble. Donald Trump is a selfish liar. He's missing out on opportunities, and I want to help him overcome whatever's preventing him from delegating, right? Using the authority, using the influence of America to immediately negotiate peace in the end of wars. And then as we negotiate peace and stop the real life execution and genocide and starvation and deprivation that man is causing against fellow man, once we stop that, we can also, like men and women, renegotiate these debts, the $1 trillion debt budget that clock.
Wait, Jack,
nonsense.
Jack, do you know this YouTuber? It's called Liberty Hangouts by Caitlin Bennett. She does protests and these things. You should check out her channel. She does a lot of them, and this is her doing a sign. She does. You should check her out.
There's many like me.
Yeah,
there are many like me.
I really do, and so everybody hates her. Like, I don't know why. I do like her videos, and I think you should check her out, Jack. One of these days.
I appreciate the heads up. Maybe you can text me or share the link here or later, whatever. There's many like me. There's many like each of us. It's easy to feel alone. It's easy to feel misunderstood. That really happens. Sometimes we end up alone. Sometimes we end up misunderstood. And sometimes we leave others alone. Sometimes we misunderstand others. Life happens. It doesn't have to be such a tragedy. It doesn't have to be so filled with suffering. Pain happens in life. That's a part of life. Pain is a catalyst for movement. It's a symptom, a signal to say, hey, something's wrong here. It's an alert. But suffering is a continuing pain that is self-imposed. To overcome resentment, accept your participation in whatever experience brought you to judge, condemn, hate, or blame. The only path to freedom is to align with truth, and truth is righteous. What is righteous is forgiveness. There's no logical reason to continue funding wars and oppression here on earth. Vinny Pots and Pans, blessings to
Hi,
you.
Vinny.
You guys who are so supportive, man. It really does. It does something for
Hey,
me.
Vinny.
Father's Day. My hope and my plan, what I pray God is doing is, if I succeed in my goals,
fit in. Right? And of course they got
well, bringing peace to the world would be, from my perspective, it would be in order to glorify the Father in heaven, right? Peace on earth has been given to us, mankind, through miseducation, misinformation, poor choices, and low standards. We've allowed hell to be formed. Every single one of us, you know who's to blame for the government? This is where I misspoke too with Don Lemon. He specifically asked me, kind of where I put the blame. And I said, I believe in accountability, and accountability rises to the top. I didn't say exactly this, but I believe in top-down accountability. So I named Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not to blame. He's just a participant. He's a pawn. He's a tool. So are you. Until you devote yourself to God. That's my assumption. You can serve the world and the ways of the world, which Donald Trump is clearly doing. So who's to blame for him in that position? Nobody but all of us. The world, the nation receives the rulers they deserve. Okay? I guess America, by majority, chose to believe that we deserve Donald Trump. Why? Because people believed his words and they didn't look at his actions. They didn't accept what was real. They believed in liars. See, liars, they come across real good. That's what the devil does. That's what the whole religion of Christianity is supposed to be about. Revealing, it's up to you. Overcome the temptation. Lucifer was the beautiful one. The devil comes in many disguises. It looks good so that it's enticing, so that you move toward your own corruption. That's what the devil does. Okay? It doesn't force you. It doesn't have any control. It's got no power over you. All these people are taught to fear the devil. Fuck that. Live without fear, first off, and align with God. Align with Christ. Put yourself honestly next to either, and you realize your insignificance. And when you realize your insignificance, then you realize how defenseless you really are, unless you're aligned with the truth and the creator of the truth. Yes, dear.
I did a live streams into the open ceremonies, and then the first day, and then mostly the second day from track. The second day was really fun.
Nice.
The second day, guess what? The second day we had a dance. and I dance with all of my friends, these boys, and then so I was signing a lot of autographs. These people are like coming up here, like, oh my gosh, I was signing
Oh my
autographs.
gosh, you were signing autographs,
Yeah.
Noelle?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
I have to do that sometimes too. People come up to me and say,
Why?
"Are you King?" Well, they say, "Are you King Stephen? Can I get your autograph?" They've seen my channel on
My
YouTube.
channel. And Jack, why did they come up to me? Am I famous for YouTube, or did they want what is just for fun, or
Only they would know why they did what they did, my friend.
You're a track star, Noelle. That's probably why.
That
You're a
was
track
that was
star.
and
my
a
job.
YouTube star too?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they were doing, is
Jack,
realizing your
have
stuff.
you ever met somebody you got autographs, Matt? Jack.
When I was a child, yes.
Oh, Jack, I have a question for you, not about autographs, but if you were meeting today, let's say hypothetically with Trump, would you be cordial? Like, would you wish him happy Father's Day knowing that he has children? And would you come across that way? And then would you start getting into the war stuff?
Let's come back to that, please, in just a moment.
Okay.
Hank, thank you, Hank, for your contribution. Sincerely, my brother. I am grateful and feel truly blessed. So the question, do you think writing down some notes would prevent you from blaming the wrong people in confusion? Consider this possibility. What if it's only the confused who blame?
That's what I said. Oliver's saying.
Because with forgiveness, there's no blame. There's objective facts, but objective facts can be understood without blame, without fault. This is the programming of society. Everyone thinks their own opinion is important. And then, because they think their opinion is important, they start thinking other people's opinions are important. And then they hold themselves back because of what they imagine someone else might think. I used to
Yes.
do that.
You can forgive even if the facts are wrong. You could still
Yes.
forgive the person
Yep.
because you can say, "Well, I forgive. I'm not going to hold a
Yeah.
grudge and be bitter." There's no point. Like it's not
Mhm.
healthy. It doesn't make you feel good. There's no
Mhm.
point. Earlier on the show, you did this voice, and somebody said about puppets. Are you going to get any puppets, Jack, to do the voices with that voice you did earlier?
It was suggested, if I'm gonna do the voice, maybe I should have some puppets. And
You should get
I
some
could see the
puppets. I think that
value.
would make the show. Yeah.
I could see
Did you
the
grow up
value.
watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood with the puppets?
You know, I knew of it, but his sweetness, it just turned me off. I couldn't sit through it when I was young.
Oh wow! Because he had a King
I
Friday
could-
the 13th puppet. He had King Friday the 13th, and I really enjoyed the King Friday the 13th.
I didn't realize or recognize what a wonderful human he was until I was an adult and started discovering.
He was almost too nice for this world in a way. He was
Right.
almost too nice. Like,
Well, and Stephen, that's what I humbly have to recognize for myself. I didn't give him any attention because I was already jaded so bad as a kid. By the time I found him, it turned me off. I couldn't listen to nice people. Who the fuck are they? I don't know anyone like that. Right?
oh,
So,
see, I was surrounded by a lot of nice people, not to his extreme, but some pretty nice people. I had a friend in elementary and first grade with Down syndrome, and he was really, you know, how Down syndrome people are extra nice. I don't think he was ever like. He was never
King
really,
Stephen, guess what? My weekend, I saw saw this Down syndrome boy, and I walked over and say hi, and he was friendly, and yeah, I did talk to him, and he was kind of by his self sitting on a bench.
Good for you.
Oh,
And that-
nice. That was a very nice gesture.
Yeah, and it
Was he
confirms
still-
what Stephen was saying. Sorry.
Maybe.
Sorry,
Yes,
Stephen.
Stephen, what did she were saying about?
Oh, I was just asking if the Down syndrome boy might have been shy if he was sitting on a bench,
No,
just on his.
no, he really was not shy. He was he was friendly, and he was open to talk. And I was like, wow, shocked.
It was evidence of what Stephen was saying.
Yes.
Some very gentle and kind souls come into and live with, some challenges that the average people don't understand. That's something that's been shown clearly to me. The differences of understanding, the levels of understanding between each of us. There's so many variables involved. Truly, it is by God's grace we live. I encourage everybody to start.
Jack, have you ever seen a Down syndrome person?
I have, but admittedly, I haven't had a lot of personal interactions with those facing a lot of disabilities. My life, it's been interesting. I noticed that, and I noticed that in my life, I didn't personally experience the grief that a loss can bring. Nobody in my family or close friends had died. So for me, losing connection with friends was tragic. I didn't know how to deal with it. But every one of us goes through loss and grief in different ways. There's healthy ways and unhealthy ways. And my theory is the Father of creation, the one who Jesus spoke of and died so that we could know better. And it is Father's Day. My prayer is to hear from my son, and I want to help God's children reunite with our Father, the heavenly ideas that are available. Because the heavenly ideas of love, that's what brings up inspirations. And every one of us has the birthright. We can live inspired lives. The only thing that prevents us, that holds us back from living by inspiration and faith, well, karmically, whatever, we're on our own individual spiritual path. But each of us, we've stayed divided. United, we are stronger. Politics, right? The idea that we can allow politics, arguing over sides, which side is winning? Fuck that. The truth needs to win, right?
Yes. Yes. Oh man, yeah. We don't need to be divided. It's united that we're stronger. There's just too much division. I grew up with, well, I was always around some mentally challenged people in life, and I tend to get along with them since first grade. And I mean, there's Jack. You said you weren't really around them too much, but you do have a chat room now that's some mentally challenged people here. They have some challenges, you might say, with their behaviors, but I embrace them. I get along with I try to get along with everybody. Not everybody gets along with me, but I try to get along with everybody. Happy Father's Day to the chat room. I think there's probably some fathers in there that are tuned in today.
Hey, actually, I was getting ready to, while you were talking, and I agree with everything you're saying there, Stephen. Thank you. And while you were talking, I was pulling up that Don Lemon video. even though I've posted it and it's been shared and talked about, maybe sharing, just the 10 minutes. Or should I share the beginning part where they reported on what was actually going on? I mean, I encourage people to check it out. The link's in the video description.
Well, whatever you feel like doing, Jack. I hope everyone's having a happy Father's Day. There's a bunch of people in the chat room that are tuned in, and it's quite a day. I don't know how many here are fathers. I don't know if Bex is, but it's Tarek or who is a father here.
Stephen,
I think Tarek is. Go ahead.
Thank you for bringing us back around to what you were saying. I lost track. The dads, the fathers. We each play these different roles in life, and the role of a dad, the role of a mom, it's one of the most important jobs any of us can assume. And we assume that role when we make a choice, right? Some choices come by surprises, and some choices are made out of mystery. But when I became a dad, it transformed my life. The moment I held my son, I was like, holy shit. Jack, what did you do? You got to grow up. What the fuck are you doing? That was my thought.
That's the thing. Like some guys, I don't know if I have a bunch of children out there because I mean, I went around when I was younger and went with the ladies, and I didn't always use protection when I slept with them. So I might have a bunch of kids out there
Tell
running
you what,
around.
that relationship, holding the innocence, the pureness of an infant with you. Oh, that's right. The same time our son was born, his mother was in labor for a long time, and finally they tried inducing. Finally went to a C-section. But so I remember there was another couple birthing their child the same time our son was born, and within the next month or two, I saw that guy in the news for shaking his child to death. So early in my son's life, I was shown signs of
no,
this world is kind of fucked. And
holy shit, that's crazy! Shaking his newborn baby to death.
Yeah, it died early, and charges were filed. I didn't follow the story completely, but
Is that Margot?
yes,
That Margot?
yes,
That was Margot.
Hi, Margot.
yes. Hello, Margot, and yes, I did, and thank you for that message. Things are coming together. Things are coming together. But regarding the role of dad, the role of mom, when the marriage split, I carried a lot of resentment and blame and guilt, which was hiding my guilt and shame. But I carried that, and I told myself in my head I was a part-time single dad, which I was. Anytime I had with my son, there was no dates, there was no, real social life other than my buddies and drinking, I guess. But I was committed I was committed to trying to be a good dad, and I failed in so many ways. And a long time I beat myself up. But now that I'm a man, I look back and I was a poor, confused kid. So was his mom. So was my mom and my dad, my stepdad, right? Confused people raise confused people. And we were born into a world that profits from secrets and lies. The obvious secret is wealth and authority are imagined. They're not real. The only thing that gives wealth and authority any power is beliefs. So let's believe the truth is more important. Let's stand with righteousness together. I encourage you, whoever you are, wherever you're listening, join with me. Let me do this briefly. I encourage you, whoever you are, join with me. Sorry, dang it. Me and other veterans is what I'm trying to say. It's time to stand together. It's time to recognize the corruption, the manipulation. We don't know what we don't know. Let's stop assuming the worst. Let's gather together, right? This is what churches are supposed to be about, gathering together to be community, not just attend the same, talk, but to actually gather together, to unite, to create a better community from the congregation that leads by the heart. That's the path and the message that I follow. And I encourage all, join with veterans like me. And there's many men and women, not just veterans, who are like me, who are opposed to the militarization, right? The further militarization of our law enforcement, the further glorification of war, we can stop the enabling of the genocide. Brothers and sisters, imagine with me, become a part of history today. Claim your part in joining my part, my dream in history. Let's become together. No one can do it alone, right? We rise and fall together, whether we realize it or not, whether we want to accept it or not. It's true. Every day, life is offered to us. All around the world, people are making choices all throughout the day. Now, these choices being made through the consciousness of all of us, that influences the future and our destiny. I hope this is making sense, and I hope it's coming through, especially for those who are ready for these ideas. It's up to us. We need to choose the healthy thoughts, the good thoughts, the righteous thoughts.
Video, Margot. Margot Diaz. Jack, can I ask a question? Is you and Margot get along?
I believe so. I have a lot of respect and care for Margot. Despite the things I've said in the past, despite what has happened, I actually care very deeply, and I do respect Margot.
And where she lives, I want to meet her someday. I want to meet another YouTuber. It's really fun to meet somebody.
Hey, sorry.
Jack.
It'll happen, Noel. Maybe we'll help it happen, right? If it's meant to happen, it will. Until it happens, keep living. And I'm sure, something will happen and you'll be able to meet some other folks you've met online. I'd love to meet you, Noel. We could go have a lunch or something.
No, thank you.
All righty. Hey, don't judge me. I like it when Jack is in a good mood as well. I love it when Jack is in a good mood.
Me too.
If we meet, you have to meet my parents first.
I would love to, and that would be appropriate. I'd be fine with that. And I'd actually welcome it. Maybe we can all get a bite. I'll treat us all for a lunch. If I make it to where we are, and if it comes together.
And
but if not.
King Steven, what about you and Jack?
Well, I have a girlfriend already, Noel, so I can't just meet anybody off the internet. She doesn't let me just meet anybody. Are you trying to steal me away from my girlfriend? What are you trying to do here?
As friends.
Oh, as friends. Okay. Well, yeah, I would meet you and Jack as friends. I would. There's some in the chat room I might not be fond of meeting for lunch, but I would meet you two for lunch as friends.
So, Jack, what's your shirt say?
Veterans Against Fascism. fascism is happening. It's when the state, the government aligns with the corporations, and there has been corporate and government alignment, which stands in the way of your and my freedoms. Okay, I mentioned this briefly on Don Lemon's show, and I tell you what, for those who have faith in me and want to try and play a role in this, I honestly think that what happened, this wasn't I didn't create that opportunity. It was given to me. So help me see if we can capture more with this opportunity and encourage a further conversation with Don Lemon or Jolly Good Ginger. I think they would both align with what it is I'm saying. And if I'm not there on the, if it's not just after being thrown to the ground and standing there with a group of others, watching our fellows be arrested, I think I could communicate a lot more calmly than I did. And,
yeah. But well, you did your best.
Thank you.
You did your best in the moment. I mean, you shouldn't look back too much on things you can't change, right?
Exactly. But I learned. That's what I mean. I learned not just from me, but from the field reporter, Don Lemon, or Jolly Good Ginger. That guy did an excellent job, in my opinion, of reporting, and I've seen him field reporting a couple of times. So, you know what? Along those lines, let's play a couple of minutes, right?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
For those who are interested, this is it's the same link that's in the video description. And in my...
I did leave a comment there, by the way. I left a comment trying to direct people to Jack's channel. I said, search YouTube, Jack Goes Live, Jack Talcott.
I sure appreciate that. Thank you.
I think everyone should leave a comment there. Try to get some more people here, viewers.
Not just here, but to help support further conversations too. I appreciate that. That's everything. It's a yes and. Any good idea is one that's worthy of considering. And if it's worthy of after consideration, if it's still a good idea, then it's probably worthy of taking actions. Here, as you can see by this point, the police have been gathering people up already. They moved a bunch of vehicles in, so they interrupted the line of sight between us. Hey, welcome, El Perro. How are you doing, brother?
Greetings, brother.
Just getting ready to review the video from the other day.
Yeah, well, that's why I come up, because before we even get into it, I've not seen this yet. But you mentioned the thing about your attitude at the beginning of the interview and how it wasn't quite as peaceful as you'd wanted because of the incident that had just occurred. And this is the importance of maintaining your emotions and stuff. And so before we even get into it, I want to give you kudos because you evidently made it through the interview. And, so it's important to understand that when we get caught up in these tight, very, very emotionally riotous events, that's where the riot begins. It's one's own emotions. It's not the actions. They start prior to the actions. So again, kudos. Let's watch this.
Yeah, thank you. I learned a lot. And again, just so we're clear, well, I could bring up the video of me getting tackled, but this is well after that. And I mentioned earlier, it could be seen that I didn't follow the wishes of the organizers. I'll admit that, right? Because the organizers put in a lot of time, effort, thought into preparing, and they had individuals prepared to deal with media. I didn't know specifically who those individuals were. And when this happened, I was right nearby, and I didn't think that thought. I didn't think to say, hey, let me point you to someone else. But on the other side as well, I feel competent in expressing myself. So here's what happened at the Capitol the other day, Friday night.
There you go. So I got a veteran right now here that's actually part of the initial group that was staged at Supreme Court, Don.
So, sir,
He said staged at the Supreme Court. So prior to moving over to the Capitol building, as I mentioned, we started over at the Supreme Court, held a press briefing and shared, what was going on, that there's veterans standing against the signs of fascism, and we're speaking out, continuing to try and educate people against the threats, against the true threats to our freedom and our democracy. It's in poor leadership. That's my position. But here, so after the courthouse, we joined here.
That was staged at Supreme Court, Don.
So, sir, what's your name?
My name is Jack Talcott.
Jack, you're a veteran, correct?
Yes, sir.
Why are you out there today, and all of these folks?
Frankly, I'm fed up, and I think I speak for most of us. We raised our hand with honor, we served with honor, and we're seeing the state of the nation and the spending and our peers, the brothers and sisters, children of other citizens, raise their hand to serve like we did, and now they're being deployed against fellow citizens. It's time for a change and an interruption. That's why I'm here.
Jack, when you saw the members of the military or Donald Trump and the administration federalize our military, our National Guard and Marines, what did you think?
The signs of fascism in this nation are getting to the point where we can no longer deny them. And until we unite together, we will never overcome the fascism. And when I saw the deployment of troops to defend the kidnapping and stealing of innocent members of the communities, we're too divided. We have the state against our freedom, and it's time for our freedom to prevail.
We have the state against our freedom. We get to choose. Does the state control us? Do the systems control us? Or do we, as people, control the systems? If we look at ourselves as separated, we're going to continue to be at war. These are the things I've been learning. And I caught myself when I started talking about, the deployment of National Guard and the Marines.
Jack, I'm sorry to cut you off. Jack, how can you talk to him? Like, how can you be on his It's interesting. Your voice is really different.
He's got the camera and the audio right there, and so I'm speaking right into his phone.
You did sound different. Your voice. Somebody said it was a psyop.
Wait a minute.
In the chat room earlier, that said the whole thing was a psyop. What? Pardon?
How did you speak with him? It's Donnie. Like, how? I'm confused. I'm sorry.
It'll come together. It'll come together for you. But it just happened. There was a guy reporting on the incident, reporting on the fact that veterans have, crossed the lines and went and sat on the Capitol steps.
Kind of different in there.
And well, I can't explain that. I don't know, my friend.
Your voice did sound different on that audio.
It does?
It does.
Yeah. On this audio, yeah, it sounded like another guy almost. If you didn't look at their face.
Interesting. I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it at first, but sorry, I'm having some fried shrimp and cocktail sauce.
How was it?
Okay.
How was it?
All right.
Steven.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's get back to this. What I wanted to point out is I caught myself because when I was thinking about the deployment of troops, National Guard and active duty in support of law enforcement, who is in support of ICE agents, And then these memories that I've witnessed in my mind, these memories came up about ICE agents busting in car windows, kidnapping fathers in front of their families, kidnapping innocent people, going through the system legally, right? ICE agents showing up at immigration hearings only to take them and put them behind bars, ship them off away from their family, denying rights and due process. When I was talking there, I got a little emotional and in my head for a moment. So luckily I remembered to calm down, slow down.
Jack,
Hey,
you did find too hard of a critic on yourself sometimes. That's what I think. You're perfectionist.
I'm hoping to continue improving. Someone asked, what does the shirt say? You know, Arpol, I've been meaning to follow up with you two because I'm of the opinion there's got to be a way they can easily allow the managing mods to create polls. If you're able to create a poll, Arpol, please do, man. Please do. Because that's a good question. I'm open. Like I said in the beginning of this video, Ginger did an excellent job of presenting the stage so you know what you were looking at. Okay.
Jack, I got to be honest though. Ginger makes me think of Gilligan's Island. The Ginger, remember the character, the redhead called Ginger. As soon as I hear Ginger, I think of Gilligan's Island every time. I loved that show growing up. But yeah, that guy did a good job with you. That Ginger, jolly Ginger.
Here, it continues. Let's keep going for a few more minutes. Welcome back.
Okay.
Yeah, I realize many people did see it. But oops. I wanted to do that.
And Jack, what do you think about this display of, military might and presidential might tomorrow that's going to happen in the Capitol on the heels of what happened in California and then what's happening in the Middle East? They're going to need extra security, and I think it sadly makes us even more of a target. But what do you think about what's happening tomorrow?
So the applause, just so you know, the applause is when they're escorting our brothers and sisters into the van. We're applauding their choice to be there, right? They knew what they were doing, as do we all. We know what we're doing, except when we don't. So anyway, that's what the applause is. It's in support of our brothers and sisters who are being taken into confinement.
Makes us even more of a target. But what do you think about what's happening tomorrow?
The excessive spending on a military display just for the commander-in-chief's birth date. It's especially coming on the tail of all the federal employees who've been affected and all the people who have been affected by the Doge and the budget cuts. And now we're just emptying money for a party. It's insane.
What would you say to President Trump if you had the opportunity to speak with him?
Actually,
isn't that a softball for Jack, right? I mean, this is just what I exactly wanted.
What would you say to President Trump if you had the opportunity to speak with him?
Actually, that's my goal. I'm hoping to speak with Donald Trump because he's missing opportunities. We have the opportunity right now in America due to the advancements of technology, communication, everything. America is poised to lead the rest of the world into peace and immediate reforms, but we've got incompetent people in the administration who don't see the path to peace. That's why we're here, I think.
Name names, Jack. Who do you think is incompetent?
Don, I'm gonna try and turn the camera around, keep the Capitol in the building, and get Jack in the frame too.
Okay, no problem. So Jack, if you just move over, and there you go.
Oh shit, hang on.
There he is.
There we go.
Okay. So Jack, name names. Who do you think is incompetent in the administration?
Oh, clearly Donald Trump. He's the boss. He's the one in charge. And when there's poor leadership, there's broken organizations. America is broken because we've got poor leadership. Now, I don't fault the single man. Every single man and woman in Congress who's raised their hand and taken an oath similar to what I did, they are derelict in their duties. They're failing to protect the freedom of innocent men and women who want to live freely.
I was getting excited again, and I think that showed pretty obvious.
Passionate. You're passionate about your points. You
Jack,
got your points across.
Jack, you are very serious in to wheel this wheel
Very
life.
curious.
And but when you came here, you're like friendly, nice, and in real life, you're like.
I'm actually I think I'm a lot of fun. If people allow me to have fun, I'm a hell of a lot of fun. I think a lot of people are that way. And here's something, we're going to come back to the video. I'm going to see where this leads, because this guy is fun. Illumitami.
Jack, my viewers are blowing up my phone, my email, my text messages. They all want to know.
Hi, I miss you.
Hi, Noel. Hello, Noel. All my viewers are blowing up my phone, my email, my alerts, my text. They all want to know, how is Steven's shrimp and cocktail sauce?
How is Steven shrimp in cocktail sauce?
Jack, you muted me. I was trying to answer the question. Oh, it's fantastic. I ordered a dozen shrimp dinner with shrimp and cocktail sauce and French fries, coleslaw, and it came with 2 tarts as well.
Is that is that an on ice shrimp, or is that like a deep fried battered shrimp? Jack, what problem do you have with these guys that are usually Venezuelan gangs and assaulters of things? What problem do you have with them getting shipped out of the country?
I have no problem with fair accountability, with people who are criminals being dealt with, and protecting others from those who lack self-control. But let's start with those who fund the militarization and the oppression of each other. Those are the real criminals that I want to address. Why haven't
our military doesn't oppress us?
Hold on. 2008, no fucking arrests were made, when we all know these CEOs and banking executives were directly responsible for the collapse of the entire damn economy. Not one arrest was made. 60 veterans were arrested the other night.
Calm down. It didn't collapse yet. We've still been kicking 2008 down the road.
You're totally missing the point, man. Totally missing the point.
Welcome back, co-host Steven.
Jack, what the heck was that?
That was Jack getting upset, and I don't need to get upset at Tommy. He's entitled to his beliefs, but Tommy, this panel, this channel is no longer going to be the stage where nonsense is entertained. Okay? If you can't take me seriously, that's on you. Life is not a joke. What I'm talking about doing is literally trying to prevent the unnecessary loss and suffering of human life. Is anyone willing to support that idea? That is the community that I've been seeking to find and grow here online. I get a lot of support from the viewers, from the chat, a lot of comments of support. But I'll be honest, the people who join me don't seem to really care about what's going on.
I do, Jack.
Well, then why the hell are you talking about your shrimp and your opinions on this and your opinions on that?
No, he asked me about the shrimp. But the rest of the show, I've been in support of you. 100%.
Not as well as you believe, Stephen. Not 100%. I will not give you that much credit. Well,
93%.
I'm honest, Stephen.
Jack,
So
at least 93%.
I don't want to argue. You can be right. Take whatever number you want that gets you to shut up. So I'm going to come back to this.
So Donald Trump, they're failing to protect the freedom of innocent men and women who want to live freely. So Donald Trump's at the top of the list. I believe in accountability at the top.
What do you think about having Pete Hegseth as the head of the Defense Department?
God help us.
Yeah.
God help us. That's my answer.
I want you to notice, Don, our first response, both of us, was just to laugh. Because having somebody like fucking Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense is an insult to every veteran who's ever worn the uniform, every active duty service member who's actively wearing the uniform, and anybody who may ever serve this country is looking at what's happening right now and asking, is it even worth it?
So that is jolly good ginger. That man is speaking truth. Okay, what is happening in America is a disrespect to those who volunteered and served. What is happening in America is not freedom. This is organized, enabled insanity. Donald Trump, from a psychology, you look at things from different perspectives, you bring the mind into the equation. Donald Trump demonstrates many symptoms the common man demonstrates. Unresolved, unreconciled mommy and daddy issues. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, these billionaires who are pretending to control the world, which they are, because people enable their life. We don't have to support the lies of the banks anymore. We don't have to support the lies of anyone anymore. We have the opportunity to align with the truth. And I'm going to do some promotion. I encourage you to check out that guy, Jolly Good Ginger, too. Like I said, I learned by watching him communicate.
Ever served this country is looking at what's happening right now and asking, is it even worth it?
So, Jack, let me ask you this, Jack. Do you know some of the folks who were arrested?
I met some of them recently. Yes.
Yeah. And what did they say? What was their reason? Because that's a pretty drastic action, especially, you know what happened on January 6th for someone to storm the Capitol. That's putting your safety in danger. It's that important to them?
The cause is greater than the individual risk. And men and women who raise their hand to serve, they took that decision a long time ago. So for this, I'm honored and I'm proud to be in this group because there are men and women from all across the nation. They've flown in here just for this event. Right?
Men and women, and more than veterans, or you mean veterans across the nation?
Say it again, Don.
Veterans across the nation, or just civilians as well?
I know there's veterans, I know there's family members, and there's civilian supporters, people who are aligned with this cause. It's drawn a great diversity and a great group of people, I think.
Yeah. When you spoke to these folks who were going to do it, what did they say to you?
Similar to my reasons, mostly the excessive spending, the deployment of military force into our communities. We're at it.
I forgot the obvious, the escalation of the war drums, the continuing feed of oppression of other nations. That's what the American taxpayers are doing due to the choices of those men and women in Congress and the White House. The American taxpayers and the representations are profiting from the murder and genocide in Israel. It's up to us to stop it and to change it. Here. Hey, welcome, Midlife Bro Logic. How are you today, brother? No applause here, but yes, thank you.
Bro, I'm doing great. This is amazing, Jack. It's almost I don't want to blaspheme or say anything crazy, but it's I almost feel like I just want to say a thought that I have. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm out of line. But the fact that Don Lemon, who doesn't know you, asked you, what would you say to Donald Trump if you had the chance? When this is like your freaking entire mission, is this a sign? Is this like you're on the right course? I mean, Jack, seriously, I'm not going to come up here and try to be funny or try to joke around, but it's truly inspiring. You're a man of your word. You're living with no fear. You're laying it on the line. I don't have visions, but I can envision you really succeeding with these people in one way or another. Hopefully Don Lemon. Yeah, I could see you being like a contributor. I could see you, I don't know, maybe this is you. You don't know what the path is. You know where the end of the path is to Trump, I think, from what you said. And you're not really sure of how to get there, but maybe this is it, man. I mean, it's just really impressive, Jack. I just wanted to give you a shout out. This is great stuff. Congratulations on becoming a major internet cable news guy.
Well,
maybe I want you to take over Don Lemon's job. That would be the best at CNN. That would be the best thing ever. This is great stuff, Jack. Truly.
Thank you, my friend. And Lawyer Chig, blessings. Thank you for that. Jack manifested his purpose. So inspiring. Thank you. Because you see it. This is what I do want to point out. I didn't create this opportunity. This opportunity arrived, and I said yes to it.
Rich, you take what you want, okay?
Okay.
Don't eat this whole thing, you'd be sick.
Okay.
Had things gone the way that I had thought they would, I would have been on the steps. That's what I mean. Had I not been tackled, right? Randomly taken out of the crowd and detained and sent back. Had that not all happened, I wouldn't have met these guys. And I'd heard the name Don Lemon before, but I didn't know they were on YouTube. I didn't know anything about either of those guys, really.
Jack, Don Lemon wasn't on quote unquote YouTube. He was like the more or less top guy of CNN who interviews presidents. Like he has fallen off for various reasons, but he peaked pretty freaking high, sir. And he was I mean, truthfully, yeah, I'm against Don Lemon, but hey, a stepping stone is a stepping stone, right? I think he's as evil as they come, quite frankly. But if you can use him to,
thank you,
to complete the goal of world peace, it's definitely worth it. Why not?
I appreciate that, right? Because you see the value. You're able to look past what you know and see the potential, especially with what I'm doing. So thank you for that. There's just a couple more minutes. And someone asked how many views? Looks like 338,000 so far. It's part of the big news cycle. So just a couple more minutes here. Let's see.
To our communities, we're at a heaping pile of problems, and we could pick any one of them as far as the reason why we're out here in the rain and people are getting arrested today. But every one of those reasons on its own is enough to be out here, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And Jolly and Jack, what changes this? You think just the protests? What changes this?
Changes what's happening right now in our country?
Yeah, what's happening right now in our country, especially this disrespect of the military.
Yeah, I'll let Jack answer as well, but I will say this, just going back to what I said earlier, Don, when you've lost the confidence of the veterans of this country, you are on a dark road to nowhere.
Amen.
Yeah.
For myself, I see the answer. I see the problem of our nation, secrets and lies. When secrets and lies are no longer protected by obedient employees, such as these men and women in uniform arresting our veterans, when we no longer have these chains of obedience, and wealth and authority are no longer telling us lies and protecting secrets, keeping secrets from the American people. That's the solution. We set the truth free, my brother.
So, Jack, when you turn around and you look at that Capitol, what does that Capitol mean to you and the scene to see your fellow veterans, brothers and sisters being arrested?
It's a lot of feelings. It's a whole lot of feelings. I actually came to DC last month, recently did the touristy things in the Capitol building, and I was reminded again of why I serve this nation, what America was built upon, the principles of freedom, the principles of value. That's what I want to see in that Capitol. But what I see today is corruption, to be honest.
Yeah. And
Break real quick.
To ask you again, what do you think?
So real quick here, when it comes to the secrets and lies, and this is a question of midlife bro logic, because we were discussing Pete Hegseth just prior to you coming up on panel, and the negative attitude towards him being the director of national defense. What are your thoughts on it? Because in my perspective, I see Pete Hegseth both inclined studiously in politics and counterinsurgency. So when we talk about the secrets and the lies, is that a good man to have in an office like that, in your opinion?
I mean, Pete Hegseth he's woefully unprepared and unqualified for this position. You know, he's a good, let's face it, he's a soldier, a veteran. I guess maybe he was a war hero. He's an attractive man, which helps. And that's why he was a Fox News guy. And he would just read the news or whatever. I never heard of him until he got this position. You know, when Jack starts talking about secrets and lies, look, I don't agree with everything Jack says, or maybe I'm still confused, or you know, Jack wants world peace. I want world peace. When he starts talking about secrets and lies and some other stuff, I'm not against it, but it's maybe I'm not ready to receive it. That could be the problem. I don't understand that yet, Jack. Maybe I'm just a poor student. You know, I'm not up to your level, perhaps possible. But secrets and lies. I mean, I don't really want to. I'm not trying to turn this into that. I kind of want to bask in the glory of Jack's awesomeness. Just like the haters are real quiet today, right? Because they have nothing to say, right? You've been training. Let me speak for you, and then you can tell me how I got it wrong. But please let me have the floor if you don't mind. The haters are quiet today. They got nothing to say, right? Oh, Jack, he's in Spokane. He never does anything. Okay, he just had a collaboration with freaking Don Lemon, which is pretty freaking good for us YouTubers, right? It is. That's a fact. Okay. Now I got nervous. What was I going to say? I'm basking in the glory of Jack's just amazing collab of Jack getting out there and doing it and doing. I've could see that this might be his path or something, and he's really doing it, right? And that's where we're at. And today is your day, Jack. I appreciate what you're doing for the world, because if ever we needed a man for peace, now is the time. You know, the Middle East is going back and forth. Ukraine, total disaster. People are just dying, getting blown to bits. And most of the people that are getting dying and blown to bits, they didn't make any of the decisions to go to war, right? It's probably like the poor people. I mean, sure, some rich people die too or whatever, but it's the poor people, the people without power, the people without agency. They're pushed to the front to get blown up. It's crazy. And I don't know. That's it. But yeah, Pete Hegseth, he messed up. So speaking of secrets and lies, he let some journalists know about U.S. military secrets, which is insane. Of course, I think I'll just leave it at that. 2 thumbs down, Pete Hegseth. There you go. I think he got by on his looks and his military history. Just because, and no offense, Jack, but you see this, a lot of people, just because they serve in the military, which is great and honorable and whatnot, doesn't mean they'll make like a great leader. Look at John McCain. He wants to fight every war. Lindsey Graham, believe it or not, 20-plus year veteran. He wants to fight in every war, and that doesn't necessarily make a great leader, in my opinion. Certainly it opens the door, as it should, but there, I'll just leave it at that for now.
These people they've misled themselves, and they've misled people. It's up to all of us, though. I see doubts and stuff quite often, What I'm talking about is I truly believe that together, united with the creativity, the technology, and the potential that's available, we can overcome money. We don't have to rely on money in order to live or share with each other. That's the insanity of the world we've been born into. There's no reason other than to punish us that God would allow us to create a world where we deprive each other of education, healthcare, resources over the bankers' lives. Because that's what it is. Money has no value. Money comes from debt. Debt creates slavery. America, it's pretty simple and obvious when you just accept the patterns for what they are. Simple and obvious. America was built upon the backs of slavery. Plantation owners and corporations came to control and direct what is freedom, who gets freedom, and who does not. I don't like living in a world where we have to pay to live. Because if you have to pay to live and you don't come from a family of resources, the only thing you have to sell is you. I don't like selling me for a fucking paycheck, right? I will not sell out my values. And that's what I want to help Donald Trump and the rest of the men and women who took oaths in Congress. I want to help them realize how they can change. They don't have to be controlled by money, nor do any of us.
Well, I think, Jack, on the grander scale, that's a message for the people. See, freedom is built on the backs of individuals, and those individuals that are willing to take responsibility and produce for themselves, rather than taking upon emoluments or benefits from a society saying, well, I'm entitled to those. They take their freedoms very seriously, and they throw off that despotism, whether it be by a government or another association of any sort. And so the individual is the one where it's most important to understand these concepts of freedom, not at the government level, though it is very important for them. But I think the most important level is the individuals themselves. When you were speaking in that thing about the military and stuff, you included the civilians, because that's truly where the military gets their power. If not for the civilians that they are required to protect, then they have no power. This is the same thing as an individual man. Without a family to protect, he doesn't have the powers of protection except for himself. Period. This is why this is what gives me the understanding that no other man has authority over myself, because ultimately I have to protect myself.
But truly, it is God who does all protection. That's what I've come to realize. Tommy.
Yeah, we get nothing but that which we get from God.
Thank you. Let's give Tommy a chance. He's back up.
Jack, you said you're a lot of fun, and then you don't want to have fun. So I ask you real questions, and you booted me over real questions.
All right. So what do we do now? I'm sorry for booting you. To be honest,
you fancy yourself a leftist, yes? You like the socialism?
What are you wanting to?
That's the fascism. Socialism is fascism.
Okay. I'm not going to argue. What do you want to share?
If you're socialist and fighting fascism, how does that work?
Your definitions of words don't match mine.
Then you should probably realign your definitions.
Or I can, since you don't want to entertain the fact that you're wrong, right?
Socialism isn't fascism?
Tommy, it's irrelevant to me and what I'm saying. You're associating me with socialism and then wanting to present the case that I'm a contradiction because I stand against fascism. But I'm telling you, Tommy, I'm losing my patience. I'm not here to entertain arguments or foolishness anymore. I love you, Tommy. You know how to reach me. You know how to communicate. When you learn how to communicate, we can communicate just fine. I'm not here to argue. Welcome back, David Wayne.
Absolute W,
Oh,
Jack.
there, Rain.
That's all I have is absolutely W. That is amazing, man. I think that's confirmation you're on the right path, brother.
I'm David Rain.
Thank you, David.
Hello, Noel.
Noel, please try not to interrupt. Okay. I know these panels get crazy. I also want to welcome Andy. How are you? Welcome back.
I'm excellent. Good job at the Capitol, Jack. I'm proud of you. You're living up to your word.
I appreciate that. Thank you. This is something I realized is important for me. And I've lived by this for a long time. Part of honesty is do what you say. Say what you're going to do. And if you say what you're going to do and you do what you say, if people get surprised or misunderstand you, it ain't your fault. That's how I sleep at night, right? Because I say what I'm going to do. I do what I say I'm going to do. And then I'm not feeling guilty or angry about stuff. Stephen, welcome back to you too.
Well, finally, you brought me back.
Yes,
Jack,
sir.
I quit as the co-host. I'm done. I'm not your co-host anymore. I quit.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate your service and
fuck you.
All right. I appreciate your service and your loyalty, and you made the choice. So thank you. You're welcome to continue your adventures without me. I'm sure I will easily recover without what you bring. You were placed in the back, Stephen, because I've repeatedly asked you to stop interrupting and to actually do what you say and support me. But you've continued to keep supporting you. And today's not the day, Stephen. So just like I got tired of Tommy, have a good day, my friend. Enjoy.
I love the new Streamline channel, Jack. I love it. You're just more focused and sharp than ever. I think it's great. I really do. It's just, this is like a day of victory for Jack as far as I'm concerned. I was thinking of something you said earlier, and I had a thought. You've probably said it. Maybe you put the thought into my head. I don't remember, but it's like maybe you have to show people that money is not the best way, or they're perhaps, if I want to get biblical, they're bowing down to the golden calf or something, like the old Moses story, right? And it seems like politicians are concerned about retaining power and wealth and prestige, and that's done through money for some reason. For some reason, they need money in their election campaigns to keep them in their powerful, prestigious, awesome job where they have people that work for them and, you know, kiss up to them. And hopefully you do get to talk to these people, and maybe you can show them that that is not where it's at, because a lot of this is funded through the military industrial complex and selling weapons of war. And it just seems to be this never ending cycle that's probably been around since, I guess, I don't know, stick weapons were invented or something, tomahawks or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's just a thought I wanted to share. That's all.
We can change anything.
Or excuse me, let me interrupt. Maybe show them that happiness is not necessarily brought through that old gratifying methods. Perhaps there's other forms of happiness that maybe they're not in touch with, or fulfillment.
Brother, that's exactly what I hope to help share. Is I've heard firsthand from, well, I've heard from testimony, so I guess it's hearsay to some regard because it wasn't my personal experience, but I've heard from people who have worked in support of many of the billionaires. Many of them are actually pretty miserable. They've got all the money in the world, but they don't have happiness. I find that to be a shame. Considering I find happiness with pretty much near nothing. But I think we can change the world as simple as when we learn how to work together. And that's what my life has taught me. I've been blessed. My life experience has been different than others. I served in the military. I served in the postal service. Those places, it brings a very diverse group of people together. You learn to work with anybody. Why? Because you have the same rules to follow. You have the same goal, the same mission. It was always in front of my eyes. When we work together, I'm confident. The reason we were created, we had to learn. We had to learn what we wanted individually and collectively. We learn through trial and error. But a lot of people have given up trying. They say they're trying, but what they're doing is they're making their life more complicated. The key is
Jack,
to go ahead.
I'm sorry. I've got a somewhat a two-part question. Do you think this helped or hurt your chances to talk to Trump? But at this point, does it even matter? Because you know what I mean? That's all you, Bubba.
Thank you. I don't know. I have faith that, and see, it's not just Trump. He doesn't want to talk to me. Why would he want to? Right?
He's so distracted. Yeah.
From what I've heard with people who work with him, he doesn't listen to anybody. He has yes men on speed dial that he goes to and they bounce ideas, but he says what he wants to hear, and his yes men know to answer him with what he wants to hear. Donald Trump is insane from egoic delusions of grandeur. They've been enabled. He's been enabled with success and support his whole life. Not every one of us has been that lucky. I sure as hell wasn't. I mean, I've had to work hard for everything and fight for everything I've earned in my life. So I want to meet Donald Trump and help him recognize what a good leader he could become. Because I think he wants to do what is right. But his pride and his arrogance has him thinking wrong, right? Because he's thinking of wealth and authority, American supremacy. He wants America to be more like him, all about money and power. And that ain't leadership. That's Satan, demonic. The demonic seek greed and power. The children of God, those men and women who had, it wasn't a big deal in the bigger scope of things, going and spending a night in jail, going through the process, the mug shots, the charges, go through the theatrics of sitting before a judge and then paying your fees. In the bigger scope of things, it was not a lot. But the reality is, it's time for us to do anything and everything. I have a theory. God is the beginning and the end. Where we came from is a mystery. How we got here on earth and became who we are, it includes so many variables, it's kind of a mystery. The future is a mystery. If we just unite with that which is in the present, we can trust what we learn together. I'm going to take a chance. And, actually, yeah, I'll take a chance. Just welcome, buddy.
Jake, remember me? I'm the guy who came to the channel just a few days ago. Yeah, I did mention about the Santi machine and King Stephen. However,
Hey,
you recall I have recommended you a channel.
yeah,
Remember, I told you about
yeah,
Jesus. I told you about Jesus. You know that, right? Swedish. You watch his
right.
channel?
Hey, buddy.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Did
checked
you?
him out. Buddy, you actually like that guy?
Swedish, yes. He's Jesus.
No, you're quite confused, my brother. I closed the tabs out. Damn it. I clo- yeah, I closed the tabs out, but dude, that guy you were promoting on my channel, there's plenty
Yes.
of evidence he's a psychopath. Okay? He goes to vegan protests to eat raw meat and organs just to piss people off and to create a reaction. There's been charges of him publicly stalking and harassing. He encouraged his viewers subtly, but obviously, encouraged others to harass people at his request. Dude, you're promoting an insane guy. So, welcome here. I encourage you to reconsider who you think is worthy of promotion. Maybe consider promoting someone like me instead.
Okay, Jake, you have to realize that you have to separate the person from the message, the individual from his identity. His
No,
identity
no,
is about promoting the truth. Raw
no,
meat,
that's
along
not true,
with his ideology, is absolute truth. He is
buddy.
Jesus, Jake.
Buddy,
Yes,
buddy.
yes, yes.
That's what he says, and you are ignoring facts and evidence. Tell you what, I'm easily reached. I encourage you, reach out to me through email, phone, text, whatever way you want to talk, and I'll show you what I found. Okay? I'm not going to argue.
Okay,
What I am telling
what's your
you is
mail?
that man is not as he claims himself to be, and it is so obvious with anyone who has eyes willing to see.
Okay, Jake, let me ask you something. Yes, you have watched some propaganda documentaries and other stuff which has been uploaded on the internet. However, did you watch his channel? Did you watch his videos, specific videos on his channel?
I watched enough to see that what I had heard elsewhere is probably pretty accurate. The guy
Yeah.
is confused. He is a deceiver. He's not to be trusted. So if you think he's on the path of truth, please highlight for me, besides our diet choices, which are simple and obvious, you claim he's on a path of truth. I know I am. So what is the difference between him and I? Why should I give him any attention whatsoever?
You are still focused on his diet. That isn't just diet
No,
that he
no,
just promotes. There are
I
many other
said,
truths.
buddy,
There are
you're focused on the
yes.
diet. I said, besides the diet, you're making the claim to endorse this character who I do not respect from what I've seen. So you're making the claim to promote him. So what would Jack Talcott gain from giving that guy attention? What is Jack going to learn?
Okay, Jake, not just you, but all your followers, all your subscribers, they will learn a lot. Not just learn, they would realize the truth about this realm from his
What
videos.
what do
He,
you think that means? What is the truth of this realm according to the man you're recommending? According to your recommendation, what is the truth of this realm?
mentions on nature being the ultimate truth. However, it's so much complex that I can ever mention. My words can give justice to his theories. You have to watch him on his channel. I would recommend it. Boy, Jake, by the way, what's your mail address?
My what? My email.
Mail address. Yes, yes.
It's in the YouTube page.
Yeah, it's in the details section.
It's in my link tree. It's in
Yeah, okay.
the link tree is in the description.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like a guy that seems to think that he's researched this other guy enough. He knows all about him. He comes over here, doesn't even know your email, doesn't even research all the information you put out to plainly see the email in everything you put out, your phone number, everything. So I don't know about this guy either, Jack.
Well, it's an interesting bit, but I've come to realize in this panel verse, you never know what you're going to deal with. You never know who you're dealing with.
Hold on a second.
be honest.
Jake is the prophet. Jake Talcott is the prophet. He's the prophet, the messenger of God. I can tell you from this.
I hope so.
Well, we all are, aren't we, Jack? Yeah, I think both of us agree on that.
When we are honest, it's as simple as this, guys. When we are honest, we are with the living truth. We are that which is. God is that which is. So if you are, align yourself with God and be with that which is. When you stay present and you pay attention and you allow life to be a mystery, allow yourself to be a child who's here in safe hands, because you are. You're in your hands. And if you can't trust you with your life, why should God?
And there's a saying, Jack, that says that it says that a man is never more truthful with himself than when he admits he is a liar. We all have faults, and we have to admit those faults, and that's when we're at our best.
When we're honest. Buddy, you had a thought too. You were trying to say something. Remember what
Jake, I want to tell you something I want to inform you about something about Bible. The first testament, the first original Bible testament suggests that we are supposed to eat raw meat. We humans are supposed to eat raw meat, and it's written in the Bible. We are supposed to follow nature.
Okay. I disagree with what you claim, and I don't live by a book. I live by facts, the facts that I've learned. Now, I've learned a lot of facts from books, and the Bible is a great book, but I also know there has been lying pens of the scribes. The interpretations are not without flaws. And if you consider the idea too, Jesus was murdered. He was executed on the cross, crucified, because he was trying to free his generation from their suffering and their sinful ways. He wanted to help the confused, and he died for it. So it wasn't even the emperor as much. It wasn't the Roman rule. It was his peers, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, those who were allegedly like him. So when Jesus proved himself and people bought into what he was teaching, wouldn't it make sense that the organized religion finds its way back into things to corrupt the teachings? Of course it would. So we've got to figure that into the equation. And I kind of think that while Paul's intentions may have been good, I don't know that his intentions were pure. With the way that the orthodoxy and the formality of the churches grew in, I don't know, but what I've been learning, guys, the words of Jesus are true. And if you can believe in Jesus, his commandment is simple: love. Force yourself to love. It gets easier. Love your enemies. Love the mystery of the past. Love everything of the past. Love everything of the present. And then you get to discover what the future might bring. Does that make sense?
Luke 24, verse 41.
Swatting a fly. when you saw that. My bad.
Luke 24:41. They gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate it in their presence.
Okay. Along the lines of meat eaters, I will ask those who are Christians the same question that prompted the documentary Christspiracy. How would Jesus slaughter his food?
Jesus, I believe Jesus would slaughter just like we are all supposed to slaughter.
You're
He would
confused,
probably.
buddy. Hey, buddy, that's the
Yes,
devil.
yes.
That's the devil's talk and the worldly ways. The worldly ways make excuses for murder and genocide and oppression. The worldly ways make excuses for exploitation. So I disagree, buddy. I'm confident that Jesus promoted, well, he spoke against, I believe, and I encourage, I'll put it in the description later, but that documentary, the video, Christspiracy, they present the case, which is supported by many academics and a lot of different interpretations can support these ideas. Jesus was there to overcome the animal sacrifice. Now, the animal sacrifice, the meat market, teaching people to eat meat so that the temples could make a profit, right? Get the people to pay for an animal, sacrifice and butcher the animal, sell the meat back to the people. They become enslaved to tradition and currency and whatever dogma you teach them. We're not here to be beasts, guys.
Jake, I believe you're wrong in this aspect. Why would Jesus go anything which goes against our nature, our intuition? In
Buddy.
fact, the church used to promote vegan diet to control people, to make them
Buddy.
to pacify them. Yes, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you as a person.
Yes.
However, because of your recommendations of the other guy, I already hold you with suspicion. I'm not clear that I can trust your intentions. Okay, so with that in mind, your disagreements are your problem. I know the truth that I know, and what I know is when I stopped consuming meat and dairy and the chemical processed foods, I felt better.
Yeah, I have a testimony of that.
Okay.
I was vegan for a
Jake.
year and a half, and I never felt
Jake.
more in tune with my spirit and my body.
Yep.
Jake, I respect.
I consume less. I require fewer calories. Now, this is my own personal experience, and I haven't had insurance, so I haven't had any experts look at me. I don't know how I'm doing, right? But I feel amazing. I consume far fewer calories than I used to. Why? Because my mind's not consumed with stress and anger and unresolved emotions. I'm at peace all day, every day, guys. When I'm not online, oh, fuck, I have so much fun all alone wherever I go because I'm fun. And I bet all of you who are listening, you're fun too when you're not an ass.
I found that in myself with God. I've been walking with God, and I found it to be like my best friend was me, and my best friend was also God's spirit in me, and I could bring that presence to anyone.
Those brothers.
Jake, hold on a second, Jake.
With a friend, no matter where I went, I had the homie with me, and I felt that presence, and it's almost unbeatable. Like I've done a lot of chemicals and plant teachers and stuff. I found more grace and peace worshiping God alone, sober, than anything in my whole life. Like you worship God, you give him your peace, you give him your heart, and it changes you. Like praise is supposed to change you. Praise is supposed to put your perspective into God's perspective. And I don't know. I don't think we worship God a lot. Like, I mean, on here we don't, but like sometimes I'll run panels and streams where I'll put up a live stream of a church, and just like I feel it in my heart that there's something happening. I see the crowd, I see the people in the chat. I don't know. I really like just coming together in communion and fellowship and not clashing. something about our true self, our true nature, our Christ being is like the pureness of you inside of you. That's what I think Christ being is. Like they want us to be pure, right? Because that's where peace is. You know, water, when it's too hot, you touch it, burn, cold, free. Like there's a balance of the mind too. And I think Christ has found that balance to teach us, you know, we can move on from the past, forgive, and not forget, but learn and move on. I think we could build this world to a freaking amazing place. You know, I believe it. I want to see it in my life for my children, or not my children, my niece, nephew. I don't have children. I want to see peace. Yeah,
I trust we will.
I do too.
And
Well,
hey,
on that note, if I may, I want to see peace too, Jack. Thank you for putting in the effort for world peace. It does not go unnoticed. Of course, you are this captain of this ship, the Live Without Fear YouTube channel. But of note, I think the chat is interested in seeing the entirety of the interview at your leisure, of course, if you have time. I just wanted to bring that out. Anyways, peace and blessings to you all. Jack, this is your day, my dude. This is a big win, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Peace.
much love to you. Much love. And for those who haven't yet, that's Midlife Bro Logic. He's a growing YouTube talent and reporter as well. Thank you for joining, brother.
Yeah.
What would be the
Jack,
best way?
Jack,
Yeah.
are you gonna meet the president?
God will reveal that. How about this thought? This is what I was thinking about God, because wondering about the future, finding peace in my own heart. How do I find peace in that? Well,
Jax is talking about me again.
faith in what is true. And what I've seen in my life is that what is true will be known. Hey, Noel, please. So what I've learned is what will be true, and it'll be realized when it's time. Okay? What is true will be true, and when it's realized, it'll be God's time, right? I'm pretty sure that's how God directs the evolution and development of our world, is through the ideas that we are allowed to find. God is the master intelligence, the highest mind. We want to align with the highest mind of order, because the highest mind of order, it sits above the world on the seat of compassion. Because compassion has no battles. Compassion has no fear. Compassion has no worry. Compassion moves with faith. And faith truly is. It's like an aspect, a glimmer of the true divine force, which is love. Love is why we're here. Through God's love of people we knew, people we didn't know, through love of life, somehow, some way, we've survived this life until where we are, right? So let's have fun. The whole point that John the Baptist was teaching, and then Jesus followed up with the demonstrations and the real life stuff, it's all about a renewal. That baptism is about starting over. And the way to start over is clean. And the way to be clean is to confess and admit guilt and shame. The only way to confess and admit your own guilt and shame is when you stop focusing on the blame and on ideas of punishment. God's goodness, guys, it's here to be found and known. And this is the lifetime we're going to do it. Isaac, yes, you get it. You felt it.
I'm listening. That was deep. Like, so the compassion that it says no condemnation in love, right? And like it takes a very strong mind and heart to overcome that revenge, the vengeance, and forgive someone. And that's the first step. And forgive yourself too. and it's not easy. Like you have to overcome that part of your mind. It's like they did me wrong, right? They did this to me. They did this to my family or whatever, and you want to get back. But it's like the only way we're gonna stop that is like find yourself. They didn't do it to you. They did it to themselves, and they just took it out on you. But
Yes.
I mean, there are consequences like with the law if that's the case. But if it's something like smaller vengeance, revenge, just like little stuff, that's I think we need to take a step back, realize we're all human, we're broken, and that's why it happened. It's not like against you. It's not against. It's just we're little kids on this huge earth with weapons and like on a playground with we have guns and bombs. It's scary. We're not meant to have this in our hands. I think we're meant to be childlike, loving, take care of the creatures, grow our plants, and move on.
Brother, that's
Forgive
what I
them
heard.
for the
Go ahead.
forgive them for they know not what they do.
Exactly.
Yes.
Jesus asked God to forgive the people that was virtually torturing him.
I've done it before, but I don't want to get to that.
Well, and that's what we're here to do. Forgiveness is the miracle. Forgiveness frees us from our attachments to bad feelings. And we get to choose when we forgive. We get to choose when we allow a new beginning. But that choice, I think that choice is only allowed when God says it's time, right? So if you have thoughts in your mind of forgiving someone, reaching out to someone, please do it. Life is short.
It'll heal both of you. Because I believe there's this thing called the sin of the curse of sin, which is like unforgiveness, basically. I mean, one piece of it, that when you don't forgive someone, now you're changing space and time. I know it sounds superstitious. Let me finish. But so there's space in your brain, right? And it takes time to think about it when it's a negative thought. So technically, unforgiveness is causing negative energy in your brain to change space and time. And I know it sounds really deep, but it's not. Like things take time and things take up parts of your brain, space and time. That's how I see it. Forgiveness is like it breaks curses, generational curses.
And this ties back to that thought I had earlier. Every day we go through our day and we make thousands of choices, right? We choose which thoughts to entertain. There's subtle choices. So we make all these choices, and these choices we make, it affects our future trajectory. What we allow our mind to consider, it's important. That's why the Bible does talk about interrogate your thoughts. See who's delivering those thoughts. Is that an angel of light, right? Because that's what, think of a ray of light. It's an angle of the light that's coming out. That's what the angels are. And what does light do? Light is the illuminating power. It brings forth that which is truth, knowledge. It's an eternal capacity for us to find. So I've heard it pointed out by others. This isn't my original idea, but inside of our head are angels of light and darkness, right? Controlling and selfish is the darkness, short-sighted and hurtful and cruel. And then the light is the light of God, the Christic, the pure, the loving, the Spirit.
Because the spirit is at war with the flesh, and they are at war with one another. If you feed your flesh, you're starving your spirit. If you feed your spirit, you're starving your flesh. It's very like a balance with that.
That's the principles of fasting. When you go without eating, or you choose a Daniel's fast, which is virtually a vegan diet. Start when you do that, you're submitting your flesh and strengthening the spirit.
Yeah, and it works. You'll find it in your mind. You'll be like, okay, there is this power inside of me that doesn't have to be held down by my animalistic instincts, and I could overcome that. And that's what the Sphinx is. I was watching a video like the lion. It's a lion body at the pyramids, but it's a man head. It's like a symbol for they overcame the animalistic nature at the time. That's what they were saying. But it's one theory. Kind of cool if they're similar.
Clarity. Yeah, there's clarity in it. It clears, like it opens up, and like you said, the ray of sunshine, it sheds light on what is.
Yes. And the truth, I mean, this was the image for the thumbnail today. The quote, Those who find the truth is available. Now, what truth do you need? That is a relationship and a question between you and God. But those who find the truth can stand righteously. That's really the key. Those who can stand righteously, they have no rulers. They have no debts or obligations. They are truly free. Now, freedom comes with a cost. There's a risk to freedom. It's not always safe. You don't always have the answers when you're leading yourself through life. But this is what I've been learning, guys. Grow in your faith. Take actions. If you got a good idea and the facts show that it's a good idea to get something done, even if you don't have all the details, even if it might not seem like the right time, take a step. If it's worthy of getting done, it's worthy of getting done. And if you're going to do it, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to get done. So do whatever you feel is best to do and move forward with faith, doing that which you hope for. That's how I've been living, guys. And I hope to speak with the men and women in Congress. I hope to speak with Donald Trump. I hope to be a voice with others. I mean, I do stand upon the shoulders. I mentioned this to an old man. He served back in the draft in Vietnam, and he's been standing up against militarization and wars ever since Vietnam. So I'm blessed to join the party a little bit late. Took me a while to find my purpose and my place, but my
You
place.
had to find yourself first, didn't you? You had to find yourself first, didn't you?
The two went together, my brother.
Yeah.
When I found a purpose, I found myself. When I found myself, I found myself strong enough to find a purpose. And a purpose greater than all of us is always available. Are we willing to look? Are we willing to look for a purpose greater than just me, greater than just my family, greater than just my job, right? I didn't think greater than in the past. I was raised to think safe, right? And thinking safe, I conditioned myself to think small. But brothers and sisters, we are infinite, especially when we align with the true power of God, God being the Most High, the power of nature, because nature reveals what is true. There's nowhere to hide from what is true, and the truth is never really hidden. It's just a game. We're in this individual game. Consider the concept. If we're eternal spirits, the goal of character development is to grow in your knowing, in your knowledge of life and everything else, right? So we're being prepared to spend an eternity in heaven, and heaven is found when you give yourself to God. You can give yourself to God as simple as a choice. It's a choice.
And I will say that knowledge we seek. Oh, sorry, you got it, David.
No, that's fine. That's all I was going to say. What an epic time.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say the knowledge that we do gain, we match it with wisdom, right? God says, "Don't eat from the tree of knowledge as your food source." That can't be it. You will die. Like, you can't live by knowledge alone. You have to have the wisdom to back it up. And I think that's why we're here, to find that wisdom, like how to use a God power. And the fact we're on Earth, we don't have our God bodies, is a lot safer if we're not ready to control that power. Like, I could see we have to go through some sort of process.
Yeah. And the best way to gain wisdom is through experience. That's why God has offered us this experience of life. So we can discover what it's like to lose life, to grow life, nurture life. Some people have learned what it's like to take life, but life is a gift. We didn't earn it, and nobody has to earn a right to live. This is nonsense that mankind has created. We were born into a world of corruption and lies. I'm 51 years, almost, I'll be 52 later this year. My generation, I'm speaking to you, those who are my age and older, we failed. We failed to create a safer world for our children and for our children's children. But it's never too late. That's what I was reminded of with this organized event with the Supreme Court building and the courthouse. It's never too late. This organized effort was brought forward by About Face, the newest development of peace and of veterans and peace. So we had the youth leading and organizing this idea, and I was so proud to be an older to be able to support the youth in this adventure. Help me feel good. We all feel good when we help others who are doing good, but it's up to us to find the good, to find the good people to support, and to become the good people that we want to support, that others want to support. That's my goal. I don't want anyone to take care of me. I don't want charity. I don't want pity. Donations, really, I'll receive support if you see value and you find value in what I offer. Please, if you're able to share support in whatever fashion, please do. It doesn't have to be economically. Help me achieve some of my goals. Help me grow, reach greater numbers. Help me get on other platforms, people who might be interested in having conversations with a guy like me. I'm knocking on doors, and it's going to take a team. God created mankind to unite. I'm confident of that. And that's the direction the world is going, truly. I still have Tommy in the back. I don't actually want to bring him up. Not anymore. And Buddy, I'm not sure about bringing you back either, but I'm willing to give you a try. I'm going to mute you for a moment, brother.
Jake.
Yeah?
Jake, I want to mention that I'm absolutely, if in any way I have disrespected or have been quite rude to you in any way, then I'm apologetic about that situation, about that thing. Okay, Jake. However, I mentioned, forget about all this raw meat and got the stuff, Swedish stuff. You will know about the truth in due time. However, Jake, I'm aware that you do have deep knowledge about esoteria and occult Gnostic knowledge, right, Jake? Is that true?
I consider myself adequately to well studied. I'm familiar with a lot of things, yes.
Jake, I have some network disruption right now, so that's one of the reasons I have been disconnected from your stream, from your lobby. So I have to go. I'm quite busy right now, so I have to go in a few minutes. Before that, I have to inform you about certain knowledge, about very forbidden and occultic knowledge, which is very deep rooted in the Gnosticism and about the truth of this realm. I want to share you in the link. Please, Jake, I absolutely recommend you and I request you, please review it. Jake, would you do that?
I will. I'll review it on my own.
Jake.
And then if it's something that's I find helpful, I'll be happy to promote it. So if you want to share
Jake.
something. Yeah.
Okay, I will give you some background knowledge about him, the person, the channel. His name is God Gave Lamste, and he's from Netherlands. Yes. And he promotes about a very deep and insightful knowledge which I cannot share here in YouTube, but you have to go there, check him out, because his channel was removed without any strike, without any warning 2 years ago on 2023, around around August of 2023 without any for proper without any warning, just no strikes, no warning. He just got removed, and he had almost 50 videos on his channel and 80,000 subscribers, but he was removed from YouTube. Now he's on Rumble, and I recommend you to watch all his videos. It's not, unfortunately it's not on in serial wise. It's not serial wise, so you have to check it out in accordance to the number. If it's written number 1, it was the oldest video. If it is the latest video, 67, there is the newest one. Please do review him, Jake. Do check him out.
I fully believe in honesty and politeness. Buddy, thank you for your suggestion and your recommendation. I looked at his page, and I'm not interested in crater Earth theories. I can appreciate the suggestion, but this is the second one, right? First, I listened to your promotion of that carnivore guy, and when I looked him up, I found more than I thought I would, because you didn't represent what I found. Now you're pointing me to someone else regarding crater theories.
Jake, let me tell you something, man. He doesn't just promote about Crater Earth. He promotes a lot of varied information. You do have to check him out. In his latest video, he promotes about Trump. You do want to know more about him, right? The truth about Trump.
Tell you what, I'll explore a little bit, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not feeling real drawn to committing a lot of time to listening to someone else, unless he's focused on changing the world like I am. I think you're kind of missing it. Is he? All right. I'll check it out.
Knowledge which can actually change the world. He can change the world, his knowledge.
All right. I'll check it out.
It's very deep.
Tell you what, thank you, buddy. We've run long. I did talk about going long, and we did do that. We're about 3.5 hours in, but I am feeling like maybe it's time to start wrapping up. I'll do some final words. And what do you think?
Thank you, Jake. I'm about to leave. Jake, thank you.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you and what you brought, my friend. You're not coming through, Isaac.
Oh.
Try again.
Hello?
Now it is.
All right. I just want to say, love you guys. Thank you, everyone on panel. Love you guys. Everyone in chat, love you guys. Just look out for your neighbor and love and spread the joy. You know, we're here. Let's make the best of it. Love you guys.
Much love to you, Isaac. Hey, thank you very much, brother. I saw someone ask, who was he talking about? I don't know how to promote. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll share it. This is without no Jack endorsement on this, but for those who are interested in what the conversation was about, this is what Buddy was offering me, okay? The guy who had his YouTube channel canceled, and that's where you can explore what he was saying and what I was talking about, too. You can see what I mean by Crater Earth. It's in most of the titles. All right. Respect. Okay. Others know things I don't. I mean, no disrespect. Anyone else? Hey, Noel. Any last words from you, my friend? I'm going to drop you in the back. Thank you for joining. Thanks for updating us on your adventures too, Noel. It sounds like you're doing great and things are coming together very well for you.
And you know me, Jack.
Get out of here. Sorry.
What's that?
I'll go ahead and get out of here. I just wanted to say a big win for Jack Talcott. And I believe personally that's a big win for the truth. I think it's confirmation you're on the right path. He could have interviewed anyone, but he interviewed Jack Talcott. All right. I love you guys. It's always good to see you.
Much love. Thank you sincerely. I appreciate you, David Wayne.
And you know me, Jack. Real short and sweet. I love you, but don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. Be blessed.
Be blessed. You are. We are. We are blessed. Andy, thank you for joining.
I wanted to congratulate Noelle on her win in the race. Good job. She looked good form, super fast. Um, Also, Tommy, if you're listening, go live. I want to rant about some stuff about the origins of Israel. Jack, if you're ever interested in talking about the origins of Israel, I've been doing like obsessive levels of studying, and it's quite interesting. You might be interested. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to derail your Trump conversations. But if you ever want to hear about this stuff, I would love to bring it up to you too. But El Pero and Tommy, if you want to hear about this research that I've been doing, one of you guys go live, and I can talk about it for a really long time. And also, Jack, I've been trying to facilitate some sort of peaceful interaction between you and Tommy. So just try to keep an open mind about that.
Well, thank you, Andy. Tommy is here. Gosh, you got to respect his commitment and his stubbornness. You willing to see where this goes for a couple of minutes before we wrap up, since all of us are here?
Yep.
Beautiful. Tommy, is this something you're willing to entertain?
Why was I backstage the whole show?
I've become frustrated with you, Tommy. I've tried, and I don't know how for us to communicate. I really don't.
Shouted at me, so I shouted for you to stop shouting, and all I did was ask you questions on the subject, and I think you backstaged me because you got no answer.
That's not accurate. Do you remember the question? I can probably tell you right off.
Okay, it's very factual that socialism and communism are fascist. That's like basically why we oppose socialism, because it's fascism. And you seem to support socialism while claiming to fight fascism.
Specifically, I don't get on here and promote socialism. Now, I have spoken about a specific method of socialism, benevolent socialism, where the purpose and the focus is truly providing basic and essential needs for everyone.
We already have that.
No, we do not, Tommy. You might have that, and America might have that, but a lot of men and women in other parts of the world do not. And I care about them more than myself.
So you're a globalist?
If that's what you want to call it. I see mankind as we are one unified species. Biologically, we're all compatible to different degrees, right? We're basically the same genetics, the human design. So we are one family. And well, Tom, I believe the universe created us all. That means there's one God, one Father, and the Sermon on the Mount, what Jesus spoke of. Become the children of God as he is and was.
That's getting off the rational point. The thing you say you feel from veganism is what Jordan Peterson and his daughter feel from only eating meat.
Okay, great. As I said also, every one of us is on our own karmic path. I judge no others, but I do invite and encourage people to truly educate yourself. Please consider the benefits of not consuming a diet where animals have to be murdered, because you want life, or you want to eat death. Death is coming from butchery.
Murder is a specific context of like luring a man to where he's in essence with his pants down and getting the jump on him and deleting him. Killing an animal for food is not murder. Jesus ate baby lambs regularly.
Okay. So besides disagreements of things that you really can't prove,
what can I not prove? What are the things I can't prove?
You just said something about the way things were back in the day, that what people ate. You weren't there.
No, I
Not that
said
I didn't know.
Jesus.
Yeah.
We know what Jesus's diet was.
You were there, or you're taking it from a book?
That book that you cite, yeah.
Okay, but I don't cite it for historical accuracy
No,
or my
you
dietary
cite,
choice.
you cite it for your own means, and then you disregard what I'm saying about it.
No, Tom, that's
So we do know. So we do know Jesus's diet.
I'm not going to argue. I don't care. Final words,
Are
Tom.
you arguing?
Thank you for joining. Final words, Tom.
Your communication is garbage.
With those who don't know how to communicate, you're correct. Andy, that didn't work. I didn't really give you much of a chance, though, either.
That's okay. That was. I appreciate you trying. You definitely. You tried. I guess you know what I mean. That's all you can do. And I honestly, it went pretty well. Both of you kept it respectful, even though you were disagreeing with each other. So that's a step in the right direction, in my opinion.
Thank you.
But I love you, and God bless, and I wish you all the best.
Hey, much love to you. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate you. And credit to what he said. Tommy, thank you for joining. Thank you for being respectful. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to being able to listen to each other without arguing, but that's the goal. The ego loves to argue. The devil loves to fight. Why? Makes it feel good. It's insanity. What really feels good is a life without battles, no enemies whatsoever, no fears, no worries, knowing in your heart that everything is perfect. Can you feel the perfection of that breath? You can, if you give yourself permission. And your permission can only be obtained through your willingness. And your willingness is going to be found through your heart. Okay, but if you don't listen to your heart, you'll go through life not really thinking. You'll think about your thoughts and you'll not listen to the facts. I've done this. I hope my messages are coming through clearly. I do want to thank everyone who joined and for the encouragement and support. I'm not going to bring up the Don Lemon thing again, but the link is in the video. As I said, I thought they did a great job of reporting a new event, a historical event, veterans. Similar but different to the January 6th event, veterans rushed beyond the barricades in order to be on public property without permission in a safe, nonviolent fashion. Those men and women are heroes. Let's stop glorifying wars. Let's become better neighbors, better fathers, better mothers to ourselves and to each other. That's truly the only way this world is going to change. Well, it's going to change. It is changing. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Now imagine what it's like in heaven. Imagine the heavenly perspective upon you from God's view, from the eyes and the mind of Christ, Jesus, or whoever you hold dear as far as the highest mind. But I have a theory that history will show that we're here to glorify the image and likeness of Jesus, to live in honor of his teachings, his ways here on earth. Not just me, not just you, but all of us together. And not just in name, but in deed, in thought, in word. Brothers and sisters, you want to be righteous? Don't imagine yourself righteous. Align with that which is true. And what is true is these titles we imagine, they don't matter. What really matters is what we say and do. So say and do love and live without fear. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you again, sincerely, all of you. And stay tuned. We don't know what the future is going to bring. None of us. Don't underestimate me, and I'll try not to underestimate you. And together, brothers and sisters, there's amazing opportunities coming forth. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless. Peace.